Okay, glad to be in here. Military Mike, happy day to you also. Yes, it is. Let me know if you can hear me, Military Mike. Let me know if my mic is too loud, the music too loud. We got James in here. It's Independence Day. They coming into the room already. We're glad to have you here. This is the H-Town Vet. Let me you got them coming into the room. Y'all are here. Now, get over here. I can hear you loud and clear. That's wonderful. We're going to get ready to get started. We got 7 people in the room. We're going to be talking about the different types of VA claims and their effective dates. The effective date is actually the back pay dates. We would like to say hello to Veronica, Military Mike's wife. Hello. We're glad to have everybody in here. We're giving a shout out to Veronica. Our brother John. We want to give a shout out to our brother John. He's saying hello to everyone. We're going to have some interesting information that we cover tonight. And we're going to, every live stream, we're going to have something new and different that we can learn. Last time somebody was asking about, what do I do if I'm waiting on my claim to be done and I haven't heard from them in a certain amount of time? Well, I got all that written out and we're going to lay it out for you, okay? We got a lot of people in the room and we're glad. Let me go ahead and put this up here. Our brother saying happy 4th of July. Brother Mike say back pay is always a good topic to discuss. James here, happy Independence Day to everyone. I had my Independence Day because I'm from down here in Texas, 19th of June. We didn't find out until 2 years later that we were freed down here. So we celebrated, I was on 19th of June. Now, James, he said he can hear me. And our Military Mike said loud and clear. We're about to get started here. We've got a lot of people that got into the room. We thank you for joining us here at the H-Town Vet. Okay. Say hello to my wife. I did. I'm going to say it again. Hello, Veronica. Shout out to Veronica, Military Mike's wife. And to our brother. He said, hello, everyone. Hello, H-Town Vet. Yeah, that's right. That's my ancestors. My granddaddy, we used to barbecue every year. And he would, I live in Houston, right? You ain't gonna believe this. He would actually go down 610 where 45 goes to Galveston. He would have a hayride for the children. This was way before I was born. This was back in the 1930s and 40s. And he'd have them all the way from probably the 20s because they got married in 1919. And yes. So thank you. Now let us get started since people are coming into the room. We thank you for being here. Got a lot of important information that we're going to cover. Keep the comments coming. We're going to talk about how that back pay builds up. Yandale is in the house. Yandale is in the house. And how time, don't worry about getting your money. So first we're going to do is the introduction. First, before we do that, we want to acknowledge the other veterans and dependents that have come into the room. Now, what's going on, brother? You're a faithful subscriber. Yeah, okay. Dogface Soldier, you know it's all good. This is the only time I can call somebody dogface without getting into a fight. You understand what I'm saying? Glad to have you here, my brother. Yandale, everybody's talking about how great you are, how important you are to the channel, how important you are to us as veterans. We appreciate your knowledge, your skill, your resources. And you live in Texas, so you can't be too bad, right? Now, good evening, H-Town Vet. This is from Michael B. I don't know if you're new to the channel. Stick around. Let us know what you think of it. Now we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about back pay and the different types of 100%. The different types of claims that you file. So glad to help. You see how Yendell, she's so humble, but with people like her, we're able to exchange information. She's able to help us in ways. Everybody's bringing their own skill here. Remember, we are the experts. There are no experts. The lawyers know the law, but we understand our experiences with the VA. They're not even experts. They just somewhat know the law. But when it comes to dealing with certain things, they're going to have limited knowledge because we are the ones that are experiencing these struggles. Now, let's see what our brother, I got the information for you, Dog-Faced Soldier, tonight. We're going to break this thing down. He said, hey, brother, I'm really happy that you bring it up. If someone gets incarcerated, what happens to their benefits? Will you lose everything, or would you be able to keep your claim benefits? Okay, understand. That's why we did the video about incarceration. We're going to get into that, okay? We're going to cover it tonight. It depends. If you go in for a non-felony, you won't lose your benefits. If you go in for a felony conviction over 60 days, that's when they drop you down to 10%. If you are 10%, they're going to drop you down. They're going to take half of that away. You understand? If you get incarcerated for a period of time and you're a 100% disabled veteran, you got an option, or your spouse has an option. You can have all your benefits go to your outside spouse, or you can just say, forget it. I'm gonna just take my 10%. But you got to think about the dependence that's out there on the outside. Okay, so incarceration is something. Even though most of us not criminals, anybody can get jammed up in a legal situation. As Richard Pryor used to say, that was a robbery. A black man looked just like you. And by the time you get out of jail, you're caught up, your benefits are gone, and you're going to have to get them reinstated. In other words, that's a fancy way of saying you got to start all over again. You understand? Glad to help, my sister said. My wife, Veronica, is learning so much about the VA from you. Tell her I said thank you. We're going to keep bringing this information, and we're building on everything that we're doing. You understand? Because we're not piecemealing it. We're not trying to say, come to this secret room and we're going to give you more information once you sign up for this here. I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with that, but we're going to lay all the information out on the table. You understand? Because everybody, can't do that. Now, I'm new, loving the vibe and the information. Listen, it's all about you, Brother Michael B. All about you. This is about us. This ain't one person saying that I know everything. You come here and you're going to go by my rules. And if I mess up, then it's your fault. No, we don't work like that. We're here to learn from each other. I have some knowledge, but we have people that are in this room that are extremely knowledgeable. Now let's get started in the introduction. Okay. Now, remember, when it comes to back pay, time equals money. So while you're waiting on your claim, you got to understand something. Don't get frustrated, because many of us have obligations. I understand that it's hard not to, because I couldn't work anymore. I had a house note. I couldn't work anymore because of my condition. You understand? And I got with my doctor, and he helped me. So you got to be able to communicate, and always, if somebody's going to tell you the right things, you just don't want to go down the wrong road. Remember, time is money. The longer they wait to pay you your back pay, the more you're going to get. Now, understand this. Never, when you get a denial, don't let a year lapse. Make sure you file an appeal, and you'll file an appeal for the rest of your life. But make sure while you're waiting that you're getting your information together. You're getting all that information together, so you get more evidence that will help your claim. Don't sit around. Look for more evidence that's pertinent to your claim. That's what our brothers say. Would you be able to get the benefits back or not until you get out of prison? No, brother, once you go to jail, if they knock you down to 10%, you got to get them reinstated, and I don't think they're going to give you any back pay to my knowledge. Or can a veteran ever get their benefits back during or after altercation, incarceration? Now listen, there have been a few people that got their 100% while they were incarcerated. There were several people who were in prison who got their benefits 10%, 20%, all the way up to 100%. But they're not going to be able to pay you at the 100% rate while you're incarcerated. You know what? We're going to have to go over this one here too. Interesting topic that y'all talking about tonight. Because they're not going to be doing it because the state is taking care of you. That's why, okay? But your children can still, if you're 100%, your children can still go to school. They still get Chapter 35 CHAMP VA benefits. And if you have a spouse, they get the benefits also while you're incarcerated. So you need to understand how this works. Watch our video, VA disability compensation and child support. It's a short video, about 4.5 minutes, knowledgeable information there, very, very important information. Now let's see what our brother Military Mike is saying. That's right, especially if you put in an intent to file. Time is definitely money with these claims. That's what we're going to talk about, the different claims, because different types of claims have different requirements. You understand? Now, time is money. Let us continue. Now, a lot of us are intimidated about the VA claims office. You shouldn't be. What you should be is informed, okay? The whole thing that you need to be doing is getting informed about how you're going to approach them, what you're going there for. If you're going for certain forms, you need to make sure you get those forms. You need to know the exact name. That's why here at the H-Town Vet, we give you the exact name of forms that you need. Okay? This is very important. So, because when you go in there, you say, I want an award letter. Then they say, nah, this is an award letter. No, but y'all told me last time this was an award letter. So when you're going in there, filing a claim, you need to know what you're going to do and what form you need to fill out. And you need to make sure you get a stamped copy. You understand? Now, see how I tied this right in? Word confusion. That's all the VA does. They tell you one thing is an award letter, then they're going to tell you something else is a notification letter. Then they're going to tell you this means that, and that's going to be a ball of confusion. That's why here at the H-Town Vet, we went and got the information necessary. I sit there and almost grabbed their neck like a microphone and made them tell me what this form is for, what that form is for. We ain't going nowhere until you get them information so I can help these veterans. You understand? And help myself. Now let's see. I think he said this already. Yeah, he said, okay. Now, word salad. One of the main ones that they use is the word what? Award letter. You think an award letter means what? That it's like your actual decision letter. No. To them, the award letter is that new letter that it used to be that. Now they call the award letter is that letter you get in the mail every year that has your summary of benefits on it. It's about a 2-page document. The first page has everything that you need to know about your, when you serve, the dates, and how much you're getting. Now, watch out for the word confusion that they use. Another thing, another word that they use that's somewhat confusing, you need to understand, is when they say VA, VA is more than one thing. The VA system is actually 3 parts. It's the Veterans Benefits Administration, which we normally call the VA. It's the Veterans Healthcare Administration, which we call the VA hospital. And it's the National Cemetery Administration. Okay, so it's 3 parts to it. Now, but if you go over there, it's going to say Department of Veteran Affairs. If you go to the regional office, that's a way they play with word confusion. Instead of saying they the VBA, they just say they the VA. Okay, that's why a lot of things they do confuses us. Now let's see what our brother Dogface Soldier said. I know you might cover it later, brother, but is there any other way that I can make money by filing anything that won't affect the 100%? When you say make money, tell me what you mean. I don't know exactly what you mean about making money. Let us know in the chat. Make money. I'm trying to understand that. Passive income, possibly. But we'll talk. Let's see. Now, remember, whenever you're doing a claim, you need to submit your claim. The VA offers 3 ways to file your disability claim, either online, in person, or by mail. I would say in person, get a stamped copy. Now, some people, Yendale and several other people have done it online. The VA lost thousands of people's claims that way. And so I'm not going to take a chance. If you have no other choice, yes, I would say never send anything by mail, because who picked it up? And you might, if you're trying to file for a claim for disability, they might start you've been waiting for 6 months. You might lose those 6 months as far as your back pay date. Now let us continue. Now, what we see here, we're going to talk, you need to understand about most of the claims that we file are evidence-based claims. They're based on evidence of our service in the military, our medical records that's showing certain conditions. And we've always taught y'all here at the H-Town Vet, there are 4 steps to winning successful claims. First, you have to focus. You need to focus on what you're trying to do. You're trying to get 100% for post-traumatic stress disorder. You're trying to get a high rating for your back condition. What is it? Do you have skin issues? Or are you trying, are you trying to file for, certain things? These are primary and secondary claims. Primary are called direct claims. That's what most of us file. Now, so you need to focus. You need to have your evidence. You need to know the VA law that backs up the evidence that you got. And you need to make the proper request. I'm going to drill this home as much as possible. See, here at the H-Town Vet, we're going to lay it out because we're trying to empower you so you'll be able to handle this business. You understand? Now, let me see here. Let me turn this down a little bit. This music kind of messing with my head here a little bit. Now, okay. So these are the steps that the H-Town Vet has come up with. Focus. Make sure you know what you're claiming. You need to know how many different conditions. Are you claiming one condition or several? Then you need the proper evidence. You need evidence, either your military records, even your VA claim file, hospital records from the VA, outside independent doctor records, even your C file. You understand? And CMP exams. Every time you get a CMP exam, you need to request that thing. You need to, as soon as you take that exam, give it a few days and you need to go get a copy of it. Because while they're trying to make a decision, you can already see if they made an error in their decision. The doctor may say that you should be paid at the 100% level, but they deny your claim. And you can say there's a clear error, clear and unmistakable error in the work. And then you break it down like I showed you in that supportive claim form, and you break down every law that they broke. Now, they may not want to do nothing about it, but it's going to make them look bad when it has to go up to their next level. I would, before I would send it to the Board of Veteran Appeals, I would send it to a DRO, a decision review officer at the VA, because you got within 60 days, if you get a denial, that you can send it to that person. And this is one high-level VA employee. Your initial claim might be worked on somebody that's new, worked on by somebody that's new. Now, let us continue. Now, understand, you're dealing with the VA. This VA representative that works at the VA, claims representative, they might be dealing with more than one veteran. They might have to deny one veteran, approve another veteran. They worried about, first, if your paperwork qualifies you for disability, then they got to see what percentage they're going to give you. And after that, they need to know how much money to give you. They got to calculate all that. Okay? Now let us continue. Now we're going to talk about different dates. And I want y'all to follow me here. We're getting started. We need to make this clear about award. This word award is thrown around a lot. So we're going to make it clear. There's different type of award. There's an award letter. There's an award effective date. So we're going to talk about that. And that's the one dealing with your back pay. Now, let me see what I have here, see if I got any questions I want to ask you. Anybody new, let us know. Please let us know what branch of service, state, or country that you're living in currently. Do that for us. Let us know, your branch of service, state, or country you're living in. Also, if you're 20 years retired, you have 20 credible years toward the retirement, let us know in the chat. Put a RM for retired military. If you are service connected or non-service connected, put SC for service connected, NSC for non-service connected, and we're going to do what we can to help you here. All right. If you're seeking an increased rating, put a Y for yes. All right. Now let's see what we got here. We got Michael in the house. Michael B., U.S. Navy, 1983 to 1990. I went in the late 80s. We overlapped in our time, brother. All right. DMV. I know that area, huh? DC, Maryland, Virginia. I lived in Virginia for about 6 to 7 years. I went to college up there. Now, we got a retired military. Military Mike finally, he laid down, he laid down that uniform. You understand? And thank you. I think it was you, Military Mike, who gave me that that cash app. Thank you. Because you had a different name, so I wasn't for sure. All right, Military Mike is looking for service connection. UNVA. I was living down there in Chesapeake, running around there in Norfolk. Had a crazy old girl down there. Now, this is a real story. You ain't gonna believe this. If you ever see that praise dancing in church where they dancing around, the girls moving around, I dated the girl that was actually invented that. She invented that off sign language, and she used one of my songs from the what do you call them brothers? The Williams brothers. One of the Williams brothers. He passed now. They were a gospel group, and he was doing something with the Georgia Mass Choir, and she created that. And then that preacher Carlton Pearson came down, and he saw her doing that, and they copied it and started using it everywhere else. Before the mid-90s, it wasn't no such thing as praise dancing until she invented it. But the girl kind of went crazy, kind of went homeless too. I had to get back away from her. She's real intelligent, but she was crazy. Now, let's talk about it. Let me pull this banner down. So, award effective date, please pay attention clearly. The award effective date is the date back pay starts to accumulate and builds into your payment effective date. All right, so that's already giving you two types of effective dates. Let's go over that again. The award effective date is the date back pay starts to accumulate and builds into your payment effective date. You need to make sure that so that the VA doesn't mistreat you or hustle you out your money, okay? Let me get to these chats and we're going to go to the payment effective date here in a second. Now, let's see what Michael B. say. He said, I was stationed in Norfolk, Newport News, VA, Chesapeake, VA, which is Virginia. Love the tour. Now closer to DC, still living in VA. Sound like you might be up there near Alexandria. Fairfax area, and you living up in that area, you doing pretty good, brother. That's a nice area to live in. Now, let's see what Dog-Faced Soldiers tell us here. What do I need to do so that I could qualify for in case if I pass away and I want to pass down my benefits to my spouse? First, before I finish anything else, let me answer that question. They have to qualify. So follow me here. We're going to talk about that claim substitution, okay? Let's say you had a claim pending, and let's say you were 70% disabled, all right? And you had a spouse. You die before the claim is finished. Now, many people don't know this. Your spouse can be substituted into the claim, or somebody you have young children, you're not married, that they can be substituted in the claim with a representative if they're on the age. Now, here's the thing. If now let's deal with the claim part first. If they win the claim and it's under 100%, your spouse is not going to get the monthly payment. They're going to just only get the back pay. You follow me? Now, if they substitute the claim and you are awarded posthumous, meaning after your death, like between 10 and 90%, they just get the back pay. If you're awarded 100%, they don't just get the back pay. They're going to get that DIC death benefit. They're also going to get, if you have any children, they're going to get Chapter 35 and educational benefits and Champ VA healthcare. Now, back to what you were saying. What if you got the benefits and you die? It's kind of got to be clear here. Number one, they got to have been married to you for a certain period of time. I don't know if it's a year or so. Now, this is how it works. If you die of a service-connected disability, that's why you got to make sure on that death certificate that they put the illness that you died from, if it's related to your service connection. Because if you die of a service-connected disability, you don't have to be, it don't matter. They qualify. It ain't no time period wait. But if you don't die of a service, let me put it like this here. If you had your 100% for paid at the 100% rate for less than 10 years, they don't get it unless you died of a service-connected disability. Then they get it. So let's say you had cancer and it was service-connected, but you didn't make the 10-year mark with your 100% rate. They still get it. Now, once you've had that 100% for 10 years straight, you can die of anything and they get the benefit. So now, if I was to get married, remarry, what would happen? That person would have to be with me a certain amount of time, I think a year or so, because they had a whole bunch of people marrying veterans on their deathbed over at the VA, the nurses and the doctors. You understand? So it was a hustle. Now, let me hope that answers most of your questions. Now you're saying what, and do you recommend me doing it at 90% or should I wait until 100%? Doing what? Passing away? Brother, hold on. You got me nervous now. You don't need to go nowhere. Stay right here. You talking about passing away, you talking about doing what? Clarification, soldier. Now, will my spouse get the full 100% benefit or will she get partial? No, she would get partial. She would get the DIC death benefit, and we're going to cover that in the video, okay? Now, let us get back to what we're talking about here. We're going to cover just what you're talking about. Award effective date is the date back pay starts to accumulate and bills until the payment effective date. Now, let's see what the payment effective date is. Now, the payment effective date, I mean, let's deal with let's finish up on the award effective date. The award effective date you can find on all your documents. Most of the time, it's the date you file your claim when it comes to certain claims, okay? All right? Other ones, they'll go back to when you got injured. But we're going to talk about these different type of claims here. All right? So we're going to slow walk this thing again. You understand? We're going to slow cook it like a brisket. Is that all right? Now, so with the hypothetical Mr. John Brown, as you remembered, his he filed his claim August the 15th, 2014, and just what they did, they said his effective date, and this is his award effective date, meaning his back pay go back to that date. Any CHAMP VA healthcare benefits that his dependents have go back to that date. So if they were paying for healthcare on or after August the 15th, 2014, the VA will reimburse them for that. If they were paying for any education under Chapter 35 DA program, they would have to pay them back to that date. You understand? So you don't just get your back pay, they also get money for other things. This also falls into place when it comes to some state benefits. Now, this is how important the award effective date is. It's on all your documents, okay? It's on your decision letter. The decision letter is telling you what the VA decided. Go to our video, decision letter, you'll find it out. It's on the notification letter. Go to our video on notification letter. It's a short video. I ain't talking about the live stream. I'm talking about the short video. You can watch both. And the VA code sheet. So they have that same date on all three documents, August the 15th, 2014. That's how important that date is. Huh? And this is important. If you pass, they're going to go back to this date to see whether or not your dependent qualify for benefits. This date is important. You need to let me ask you this here. Now I got something I need to put up here, and I need to ask you, anybody in here, who has their VA code sheet? That's the last document we went over. You may not know what it is, but it lists it's a summary of all your disabilities. It has your comeback code on that. We went over that. Who has a copy in here of their VA code sheet? Who has applied to get a copy of their VA code sheet? It should have came in your packet, but a lot of times they don't like to give it to you because it tells you who was the person who completed your claim. And they don't like putting a person's name on there. You notice when you get most documents from the VA, it don't have no claim person name on there, because back in the 50s, somebody found the person that denied their claim and did something bad to them. So now they try to, keep it low key. You understand? It's bad. Now, let's see. Michael B has his VA code sheet. That's this last one. You need to look at it. And my Mr. John Brown, the gentleman here that I used, the hypothetical Mr. John Brown, he had the wrong code on there. First, they gave him a combat code 1, saying he wasn't in combat. But when you went farther down, it said that he got injured in country. So which is it? And you don't want your family dealing with these contradictions after you pass. He didn't know that, so he got that corrected, Mr. Brown. Now let's see. He said, I have my VA code sheet. That's the last one to the right. Here, I have it. Black out the person's name. No. This is a hypothetical, Mr. John Brown. All this is hypothetical here. Names have been changed. Okay. Yeah, this is all examples. I don't know, but thank you, Yandel. Now, this is hypothetical, Mr. John Brown. Now, let us continue. Everybody need to get a copy of their code sheet. That's very important because it'll tell you what dates you got 30%, what date you got 50%, what date they put you back down to 20%. It had all that, and it listed, and it's all on a couple of pages. That's very important. Anything that you was approved, it also has the code for post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a code right next to it. Anything that the VA compensate for, they have a code. And that code, if you get that code and type it in the computer, it'll tell you what symptoms you need for the next higher rating for 100%. That's why that code is so important. Watch our video on our live stream on the VA code sheet. Now, let's understand something. Thank you, Yandel, for your comment, and all of you wonderful people. Let me see. I got to get this banner down. Give me a second. Now, so when it comes to your claim, When you file your claim on most situations, that's when your back pay starts, and it ends when you successfully win the claim. If you don't win the claim, you don't get the back pay, but you don't stop there. You got a year to file an appeal. Don't wait until that year expires, because you're going to lose all of that back pay money. So let's say you have a claim, it takes a year and they deny you. File an appeal. Make sure you have, during that time you're waiting on the claim, you should be getting more evidence, getting more treatment from doctors, getting other outside DBQs, independent DBQs, which is an examination, just like a CMP exam, but done by your personal doctor or specialist. Now let's see what my wonderful person saying here. Who's it? Okay, Dogface Soldier says, when my wife retires, she will collect Social Security. If I pass away before her, can she collect Social and VA benefits, or does she have to choose one or the other? Thanks. Thank you. Now, I don't know if you talking about your benefits. I don't know if Yandel, do you know anything about that? Can they get the Social Security benefits and the VA compensation? Because VA compensation, you can get both of them as the veteran, because it's compensation. They're paying you for something that you owe. But as far as them getting a death benefit for you and Social Security, your Social Security, I don't know exactly. Dogface said yes. Okay. I wasn't clear. Maybe you was telling us that instead of asking the question. Now, remember, your money starts when you start your claim in most cases. Sometimes it starts earlier than that. Now, let us continue. Now, we talked about the award effective date. Now we're going to talk about the claim effective, the payment effective date. Okay? The payment, we talked about the award effective date. Now we're talking about the payment. That's when they actually start getting ready to give you your money. The payment effective date is the date your monthly payment starts accumulating and is in the month before your first compensation check is deposited. So we're about to break that down. Don't worry. We're going to break that down. Let me read that one more time. See, we're going to tell you stuff here at the H-Town Vet that you're not going to get anywhere else. We're going to give you all the details, and you can go back over this live stream and you'll understand it. And I'll get to your comment in a minute, Military Mike. Okay, payment effective date, one more time, is the date your monthly payment starts accumulating and is in the month before your first compensation check is deposited. Now let's go on with this here. So we're gonna go over this, then I'm gonna answer the questions in there. So for example, Mr. John Brown, they explained it in this paper in his notification letter on the second page. It says your payment begins the first month following your effective date. All right, you will receive a payment covering the initial amount under the award minus withholdings. So if you owe the military something, if you got something from the military while you was in there, like they gave you a severance thing, they're going to get their money back. If you got through your VA disability, yes, they are. I've seen it happen to several veterans. Therefore, the payment will be made at the beginning of each month. For example, benefits due on May are paid on June the 1st. They always pay you after. They pay you after you a month after, okay, or the month after. For example, if your payment effective date is May 9th, they're not going to pay you until June the 1st. And when they pay you, if this is the first time you're getting paid, they're going to pay you your first monthly payment and your back pay. Depending on how much it is, it might take them a while. They might, if you're giving you $200,000 or $300,000, they might give you $100,000 here, 60 over here, or they might just give you $200,000-$300,000 right off the bat. Understand? So remember, so if your payment effective date, this is not your award effective date. Award effective date when you first file a claim. This is when they're getting ready to pay you. They got to let the money accrue. So they're going to pay you if you got any back pay. They're going to pay you your payment effective date is the month before. So let's say the payment effective date was like they here May 9th, they're going to actually pay you June 1st. If your payment effective date was July 1st, they're not going to pay you to August 1st. Okay? Plus the back pay that they owe you. Now, remember, we talked about that last time. If they put somebody saying, they say you're incompetent on the DBQ, they're going to hold the back pay. They're going to give you a monthly payment, but hold your back pay. What did we say do? Get your doctor at the VA. If the CMP doctor or your independent doctor say that you can't handle your own finances, you need evidence showing that you can handle your finances. Something to show that you write checks. Did you hear me? Something to say you pay your bills. And you need to go to your doctor at the VA that sees you all the time, because that CMP doctor don't see you but one time. How they know whether you can handle your money? Then ask your doctor, doctor, can you write a letter saying I can handle my finances? Because they saying that they think that they're not for sure if I can handle my finances. If you got a good relationship with your doctor and they know you, they're going to do that for you. Now, let's see some of the questions. Military Bike say she can if a veteran dies because of a service connection. Yes, she can get your benefits. So if it's dealing with Gulf War syndrome and you die of Gulf War syndrome, she can get it. Some people are saying you can get it even if they're not 100%. Not too clear, but if you are definitely 100%, most definitely. Now, Yandel say, I had a VSO tell me she could not give me my code sheet because the rater's name is on it. That's your right. You need to write that person's name down, ask them who they are, and file a grievance against them on the supportive claim form, and email. Don't just do that because they'll throw the paper away. They can't throw email away. Did you hear what I said? Of your encounter and what happened. Yeah, that's what I told you why they don't want to give it to you, because it has that rater's name on there. Okay, I told her they usually black out with the market. No, they don't supposed to black it out. No, that's illegal. You tell them you want it without it blacked out. She still wouldn't give it to me. I walked out on her. Okay, Yandel, let's see what else Yandel said about that. Office and went to the front. That's a regional office and I got it. That's right. But when people do that, you need to say something, because you're not you see, other people ain't as strong as you, Yandel. That I hurt my feelings. I just walk out. When they say, some of us, because we got bad tempers, we just roll up out of there. So you need to say something so she don't do that to another military personnel. Thank you for being strong, so strong, Yandel. Now, I hope, let me know if I've made the award effective date and the payment effective date clear. Let me know if I did that. Now, let's see. Angel is a house. Hold on. My brother Angel is in the house. Brother Angel, so glad to have you. The VA code sheet is also found in your C file. Did not know that. It should be a part of your. And remember, they don't want to give you that code sheet. What did I say? Why? Because it has the rater's name on there. And because of what happened back in the 1950s, a rater was unalive because one veteran wasn't approved of their claim. They real skittish of putting these people's name out there. And I want to know who's denying me. You know, I have no ill will toward nobody, but I have a right to know because it's a legal document. Remember, being a disabled veteran is a legal status. That's why you have to go to court if they deny you. You understand? At the regional office, they're acting as the judge. But when you go before the Board of Veteran Appeals and then the higher veteran court, yes, some of these cases go all the way to the Supreme Court. Did you hear what I said? We're going to talk about that later. Now, let us continue. Let us continue. Now, this is your monthly payment. Right now, for 100%, Mr. John Brown received $3,737.85. This is just for the veteran only. Okay? Now, if he had back pay, they would be giving him in addition to this here. Now, let's talk about it. Yeah, that's what happened with the, remember we were talking about the divorce thing, dealing with, that's what happened, that they were trying to take veterans VA money, and back in 1982, and the vet said, you can't touch my money because it's federal, and they said we couldn't. Well, that's right, but then it went to Supreme Court or somewhere, I forget which court, and they approved that under certain circumstances the money can be taken. Watch our video, Protecting Your VA Disability Compensation, for more information. You see how I tied that in? You said D-Law's in the house. D-Law, my brother, I'm trying to keep my Southern accent suppressed, brother, but you're in the house, and I'm happy to have you here. All my partners up in here, all my partners and my lady friends here. I mean lady friend, I don't mean it bad. Don't get your husband hurt me or nothing. Tell him this just a crazy man on the internet, all right? Now, let's see what we got here. If I end up going to an outside, the emergency hospital, not the VA, and you notify within 72 hours, will the VA pay for emergency bill, or would they only cover partial? Well, if it's an emergency thing, it has to be reasonable. Let's say you was in a coma and with nobody around. You're just going to explain to them that you were in a coma or you were blacked out. But if you're able to, you contact them. If not, get your family. If not, you just need to put that form in, something in writing telling them why you couldn't do it. They're usually reasonable on that. And now they got several of these little, what they call these little hospitals, these little clinics you can go to. The VA actually approve of you going to them. Yandel mentioned that one time. Let's see what Yandel's talking about here. Mine was not in my C file. Maybe they are doing it now. I got out almost 40 years ago. I have asked for my whole C file 4 times in the past 2 years. They closed it and did not deliver it to me. I did it too. I asked for my C file and they didn't give it to me. What you need to do, every document you get from the VA, when you start your claim, you make sure you get it. If you don't have it, go up there and you ask for your decision letter and know the years and dates. That's as best as possible. Because sometimes they're not going to give you everything in your C file. All right, now let us continue. Now, moving on. If this video has been informative, please like, share with others, please, and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notifications for our next live stream or video. Now, this is what we're talking about tonight. Now, look at these different type of claims. Where do you get this here? Nowhere else but here at the H-Town Vet. We'll break these. I may not have them all up here, but guess what? I got more than you see anywhere else. These are the different type of claims we're going to talk about tonight. You understand? Now, let's see what D-Law said. CBOC, community-based outpatient clinic. Okay, that's what they call it. Okay. That's what I was wondering. Thank you. Man, I got some knowledgeable people up in here. Now, the ones that are in darker blue and it's larger, direct service connection, presumptive service connection, secondary service connection, and DIC. These are the most frequent claims that you have, which is indemnity. That's DIC is the death benefit. Now, here we go. Then you have reopen claims. You have claims that you file for an increase. You have decision errors. They made a decision error in your claim. Conflicting opinion. One document say that you get the benefit. One rater say you get it. Another rater say you don't get it. Come on now. We're going to talk about it here tonight. There's a law change. What if the law changed in the middle of you filing for your claim? What happened then? Do you fall under the old rule or do you fall under the new rule? Let's talk about it tonight, huh? We're going to go over all these. And the last one, hospital injury or death. Yeah, that's a claim. If one of your loved ones, especially your father or mother or any other veteran, tell your family, gets unalived at the VA or some malpractice stuff because of a medical doctor or medical staff, you can file a claim for that. We're going to talk about that. Yandel always gave some real powerful information on that before. Now, let's see what Angel says. Anyone that is working with a VSO or attorney, your FOIA C file is in their hands because you gave them power of attorney. Check with them. So check with them. He is so truthful. That's how I got my code sheet from my VSO. And tell them I want a whole copy of my claim file. So yeah, that freedom of information, we talked about that. Freedom of Information Act, we talked about that last video, I believe it was. Now thank you for that wonderful information, Brother Angel. Thank you. Now let us continue. So we're gonna go over the first one. This is the most common claim most of us file, which is called direct primary service connection, meaning you getting paid for something that happened to you directly. Ain't no middle, nothing. It happened, and that's what you're getting paid for. I was in Desert Storm. I developed PTSD. That is a direct service connection because the PTSD is related to the Battle of Medina Ridge. That's direct service connection because I was there. It's the battle of, I think it's 63 Easting. I was there. Unfortunate, right? To be in these one after another, right? Yeah, I want to go home. I want to go home. Now, here we go. Let's see what our brother. So this is the first one we're going to cover. We're going to break it down. But let's see what our sister Yandel said. Our sister Yandel says, VA aid and attendant benefits and housebound. She's giving you the information there. If you are housebound and you need people to assist you, you can't do daily activities such as give yourself medication. You can't do things such as let me get it on the screen for a minute so y'all know H-Town Vet is in the house. Give me a second. Let me do this here. Let you know H-Town Vet here with you. Now, such things as you're not able to bathe yourself. You got to understand that aid and attendance to help out, and I think it pay the person. That's really really important. Let us not look at that website and you'll see how it works. Now let's see our brother D Law saying something to Angel. The VBMS, which is the Veterans Benefits Management System, reps and lawyers have access. So meaning your lawyer has access to this stuff. And whoever just joined us, let us know your branch of service. This is important. Let me tell you why. Because if you're able to get access to all of your documents through your VSO or your lawyer, you need to do so. Because they're not going to play around with them the way that they'll play around with you if you're trying to get it on your own. Sometimes it's more difficult for us to get it. And you're right. I got it through my VA code sheet. And that should have been in your benefit. If you were awarded, it should have been in there. Okay. And they don't like giving it up because that document tells who the rater is, as we spoke earlier. Now, first we're talking about direct service connection. Now we got somebody in the house. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see my sister saying here. Then I'm about to get to you, brother. Mr. International here. Is that international player or just international? Let us know. Or not. You ain't got to put yourself out there on Front Street. Now, current special monthly compensation rates. I needed this one. Thank you so much, Yandel. And it said she's telling you what website to go to. Now, let's see what a brother International say. Welcome all. I am accredited claims agent. I hear you. Mr. International, he letting you know. Now, Mike B say, it appears that you can't get aid and attendance benefits and housebound benefits at the same time. Yandel, let us know about that because I think you have a little bit of experience with that aid and attendance and housebound. And remember, the aid and attendance program, I'm assuming, is different from special monthly compensation. Let us know if you can have both of those, Yandel. I don't know if y'all know, when it comes to special monthly compensation, such as if you have 100% for one disability, and you have other conditions that add up to 60%, that you can get about $500 or $600 a month, special monthly compensation. They're supposed to automatically give it to you. Now, let us continue. Let's see. H-Town Vet is right. The VA makes so many mistakes. Yes. Bernie in the house. He say we made it. Bernie, you got here at the right time. You understand? Because we're about to get started on this direct. We're going to go over all the different type of claims and the pay dates for your back pay, depending on the type of claim that you file, okay? Now let's get into it. Direct primary service connection. I'm going to be off the screen for a minute. I'll get back, but let's get back to this lesson. Now, direct service connection is very important. It's the most common. Now, here at the H-Town Vet, we've come up with 3 different options. Nobody else is going to tell you this like this. We're going to break it down to you, and we're going to slow walk it. We're going to roast it like, we're going to smoke it like a brisket. You understand? Now, A, B, or C. Let's see what A option is. Well, if you don't have your claim together yet, if you need time to get your evidence together, you need to get time to get CMP examinations. If you need time to do these different things, you should file your intent to file. And that will become your effective date. And your back pay will start then. Because remember, on your award effective date, we're talking about your award effective date, your back pay will start then. So lock it in if you don't have all your evidence together. If you got all your evidence together and you're going up there, just go and submit all the evidence. But usually you may want time to look it over. Just file that intent to file just to make sure. That's option A. So that's very important to know. Now, here's the intent to file form. You can make sure you always get an up-to-date copy. It locks in your back pay date. So you don't have to hurry up and submit your file and don't have all your evidence together because you're worried about getting that paper. No, you get all your stuff together. We're gonna talk about all this. Now let us continue. Now the B, remember it was A, you had 3 options, A, B, or C. B, the date the claim is received. With Mr. Brown, remember, his was August the 15th, 2014. So that became, because it's the day you file your claim. If you already got your claim together and just go and turn it in, or you didn't know about the intent to file, the date that you turn in your claim, that's why you better make sure you get a stamped copy. All right, so you can lock it in. Now, that becomes your award effective date. I just put effective date, but we're talking about the award effective date. The date that you file your claim, or the first was the date you file the intent to file, and then the date you file your claim, one or the other. There's a third option also. Now, like we were saying with Mr. John Brown, he filed his on August the 15th, 2014. The date he submitted his claim was the date that his back pay started. Now let's see. The intent to file is good for a year. Now, this is an important thing that our brother Military Mike is saying here. It's good for a year, but don't rush you need to have all the stuff that you want to file on the intent, that you want to file on, that you want to submit on the intent to file. You need to have all that information together, because you don't want to have one disability you file for, because once you file one, that intent to file, it's over with. You can't use that one no more. So you need to file all of them at the same time. If you got them together, list them on one thing, and then quote and have a copy of your intent to file stapled to it saying what? That this is part of my intent to file. And list all of the disabilities you claiming. Put them together, okay? That's why you should get a stamped copy to show that they were submitted the same day. If you mail them in, they may say we got one the other day, it cancels out all the other ones. No, mail, you're gonna have to fight it. Over the internet, you fight it. If you get a stamped copy, they can't manipulate nothing. You understand? Now let us continue. Thank you for that information, Military Mike. Now, so the third way, remember the first way, the effective date would be the intent to file. The second would be the date you file your claim. If you got out not so long ago, maybe within a year, it would be the date of the injury that it happened while you were in the military. That'll be your effective date. Okay? So let's say you just got out. This is 2024. You just got out 2023. You got out December 2023. And then you can no matter when it happened while you were in the military, if you're just recently out, then you can get that for the date of the injury while you were in service. You understand? That's the three ways you can do it. Either through intent to file, date you file a claim, or date of injury occurred in the military. All right. So date you got injured, that's the date that counts. Now we got to go back over this here because we want to make sure this clear. Remember, this is a evidence-based claim. So the evidence has to show that you have a diagnosis. All right. When you're dealing with a direct service connection, you need a diagnosis. What does that say? That there's a recognized injury or condition, a medically recognized injury or condition. Remember, we talked about the problems list at the VA. You can get it on, or you can get it outside doctor. So let's say we're talking about PTSD. Does any doctor, in the VA, kind of funny about that. They want to do their own diagnosis. If you get a diagnosis for PTSD by outside doctor, when it comes to mental health disorder, it seems like they want you to get it in the VA. I don't know if they're still like that. Let me know. And we're about to get to your comment, Yandel. Now, nexus, the injury. So the next step is once you got a diagnosis, you need a nexus, injury connected to the military service. That's important. So this is the steps that you need if you're trying to win a claim now. And you don't want to just win and get service connected. You want to also get compensated at the highest rate that you deserve. That's the next one, severity. How does the injury affect your ability to work and function in society? Okay, that's where the money come in, the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 to 100%. Severity level is percentage level. That's a correlation between the two. Now let's get to what our sister Yandel is talking about. She said, I believe you can, but it's best to call, okay? If you are in bad shape, lost both of your hands or feet, you will have a higher SMC rate, and you can have a paid caregiver. Yeah, usually people that get paid them high rates, I think they pay, do they pay up to like some of them cases like $7,000 a month? Now, when you get to 7,000, your monthly VA, you lose that, but you're gonna be getting paid 7,000 a month. People in those situations, they might not even know where they're at or can't take care of themselves. They're in bad situations. You understand? Now let's see what Yendel's telling us about aid and attendance. VA aid and attendance or housebound benefits provide monthly payments added to the amount of the monthly VA pension for qualified veterans and survivors. If you need help with daily activities, or now let's see what else. Yeah, or okay, she say or okay. I guess she put it somewhere else. Up to 10,000, I think. Okay. Now let's see what military Mike talking about. Our brother. Is everything on the problems list an official diagnosis? Yes, because it's at the VA, it's an official diagnosis, but that doesn't mean you service connected for it. There's some things on your problems list. Let's say you got flat feet on there on your at the VA hospital. This the VA hospital, and you have PTSD and depression. You might be service connected for your PTSD, but not for the flat feet or the depression. Now you can use to say you already diagnosed if you're trying to win flat feet. Okay. You can use that as evidence that you're already diagnosed, but some things you will be diagnosed for, but you don't have a service connection for. Because remember, diagnosis means That's just a recognized injury. They're not saying where the injury happened at. Now let's see what our brother, Mr. International, say. Can you elaborate on the importance of diagnosis and explain how veterans file claim like back pain, knee pain, and stomach pain? Okay, the importance of a diagnosis is, let's say you got back pain. It's gonna cause trouble with your ankles. It's gonna cause other problems too. So you can get secondary claims based on that. But a diagnosis is the first step that you got something that's recognized. You can't get paid if it's not diagnosed. That's the first step. No diagnosis, unless dealing with a direct service connection, which we're dealing with right now. But when you're dealing with what they call them, the other claims that we're going to be talking about in the middle, presumptive claims, there's no such need, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Now, let's see what Mr. International say. Veterans make the mistakes and file symptoms and not diagnose. I want y'all to look at this. You can't be filing for something and you don't even have a diagnosis. Well, you can in this sense. If you go to a CMP exam, they can diagnose you. If you get that's a DBQ, that's that internal DBQ. If you do that public DBQ where you print it off the internet and you have your private doctor, they can diagnose you doing the CMP, the independent examination. But I would suggest that you try to get that diagnosis when you're with the doctor, but they can get that done during the evaluation. Now, let's see what our brother Dogface Soul said. I know you covered this last time, but I want to reiterate on my PTSD claim. It said I have a 70% non-combat, and they only based it on my secondary MOS. I'm gonna see what they're saying. But my first MOS was a 13 Bravo in Iraq. Listen, once you get your compensation, whether it's for service connected or non-service connected, it could have happened while you was in the middle of combat. It could have happened while you was walking to the grocery store while you on active duty. Either way, it's gonna pay you. Now, to my knowledge, just y'all know something I don't know. Let's see what that's supposed to say. Is there a way I could get a high percentage in my PTSD showing them that I was deployed as 11 Bravo Field Artillery? Yes, you should be able to, but somebody let me know. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna look into that. I've never heard of that situation. Okay, I'll try to get back to you on that, Dogface Soldier. Housebound is an extra $400. Answer, continue above. Okay. Now, we're getting some good feedback and we appreciate y'all. For everybody joining us, let us know your branch of service and the country or state that you're living in right now. We would appreciate it. We're glad to have you with us on this live stream. Let us continue. Now, we just talked about primary service connection or direct service connection. Now we're going to talk about secondary service connection. See, this is going to be a different. Remember, with primary service connection, you have to have a diagnosis. Then you have to have a nexus. The diagnosis is you have to be medically diagnosed with an injury or illness. The nexus meaning you have to show a connection between that illness and your military service, and then the severity level. Secondary conditions are a little bit different. You already got diagnosis for your primary condition, but it's causing problems in other ways. So if you have migraines, for example, so remember, now we're talking about the second one, there's 10. This is the second one. We did primary, which is direct service connection. Now we're doing secondary service connection. Let's talk about it. So, for example, secondary, I didn't let the whole word. I forgot they had that little fancy stuff on it. Now, with secondary service connection, let's say you have migraines. We all use the example of migraines. You have migraines and you're service connected. It could be at a 0% rating. You're not even get paid for it because it's non-compensatable. But then it causes you to be depressed because of the migraines. Now you can get service connected up to 100% for the depression. You might get a 70% rating, 100% rating, 30% rating. You'll get paid more for the secondary condition than you do the primary condition. Meaning the depression is secondary to your service connection. They saying that it caused, so it ain't some depression didn't happen in the military. It happened because of your service-connected disability. So it's called a secondary. So at that point, your depression is a secondary illness to your primary condition, which it could be migraines or any other physical injury that caused things. Depression and other things can be caused by many different disabilities. And guess what? Y'all might not know this. Y'all gonna trip out. The VA also not only supposed to look for direct service connection, they supposed to look for secondary when they're doing your case. Did you know that? They're supposed to look for secondary illness that your primary illness is causing, but they very seldom do it. You understand? That's why we here at the H-Town Vet are trying to inform you of these things. Now look at my brother Angel. Angel said, claims need to be backed up by medical evidence, proof which comes in the form of diagnosis, not hearsay. You understand? And if you got pictures of when you were in country, it was one Vietnam veteran. He was at a place where something really bad happened, like it was some explosions in a city. He just happened to some newspaper had took a photo, and he was actually in the photo on the back of like a Deuce and a Half or some other vehicle that they had back then. And he was able to bring that news article in and get his service connection. You understand? Now let's see. Mr. International, Atlanta, Georgia, Army, 5 years, Fort Bragg, North Kakalaki, North Carolina, for those of you that don't know what I'm saying. Now, Yandell, I was denied my right knee and back secondary to left knee. Okay, let me read that again. I was denied my right knee and back secondary to my left knee. So saying the back, the left knee caused problems with her back. After fighting for over 2 years, I got my right knee and back as primary instead. Ain't that wild? Now, let me see what they said. Now, before I answer that question, I want to ask anybody there. I think I had a question. I don't think I put anybody here got any secondary illnesses. That's what I want to put up there. Who in there has a secondary service connection? Meaning you got a primary condition, but you got secondary. And how did you win that claim? Let us know in the chat. Anybody here got getting paid more for the secondary than they are the primary or not? Let us know. Or did they reverse it like with Yandell when you filed for secondary, they gave you both primary? Let us know in the chat. Let's see what somebody's saying here. Now let's see. I'm gonna hit Mike first. I got migraines connected, but my headaches are actually cluster headaches, not migraine. What's the difference? So I don't think the headaches have to be actual migraines. Interesting. Let us know about that. It's cluster headaches service connected. Let us know if you're getting compensated for it, because that might help some of the other veterans. Not trying to be intrusive into your personal life. Now, Mr. International say, here's the mistake that most veterans make when filling out a secondary condition. And I'm gonna get to you again, Dale. Let me see what he says. Left knee strain aggravated by service, back condition due to alternate gait. Okay. See, let me tell you something. In your gait, I'm assuming he's talking about the way you walk. When you walk in a certain way, because your back, you have a different walk or gait, it can affect your ankle, also your knee and all that. Now let's see what Mr. Hold on. Minister Nash say strain. Military right say, I remember this plantar penitis secondary to the tubular fracture. I don't know. I forget what that is, but I remember y'all telling about it. Now let me pull this down. We're gonna continue here. I really enjoyed the patience and time we spent here together with the family. Now let's see. I gotta take him down. Here we go. Okay, Mr. International. Causation and aggravation, two different claims and theories. Well, see, when causation and aggravation, so aggravation would be something you already had an injury before you went into the military. But listen here. If they didn't document that when you went to the MEP station, when you come into the military, they got to prove that. It ain't your job to prove it, it's their job to prove it, that you had it before you joined the military. If that was the case, why would they give you, all of us have physicals before we get in there? But if they do know about you play football and you hurt your back or your rotator cuff, now they're not going to pay you for direct service connection, but they will pay you for the aggravation. That's what Brother International is telling us. And they, just like John say, flat feet. I think a couple of y'all have flat feet in here. Did anybody go into the military with flat feet? Let us know in the chat. Now let us continue. I'm going to take this down. Give me a second here. I'm going to this banner. Now let us continue. I've enjoyed the communications. Really enjoyed it. Now we've talked about primary service connection. We've talked about secondary service connection. Now we're going to talk about presumptive service connection. D-Law, if you're still in the house, let us know about that presumptive service connection. Let us know from the veterans of the Second Gulf War. Let's see. Dollface say, I came into the military with flat feet. Interesting. You know, I saw it was another brother that I was in the military with, stationed at Fort Carson, and he had flat feet. I said, when you get those? He said, I came into the military. They let him in. He had flat feet. Now let's see here. Presumptive service connection. Now with presumptive service connection, you don't need a nexus. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right, so let's see. They'll say, I used the gate and was denied, saying that there was no such thing as that, or use the opposite shoulder or knee. I knew better. Yeah, they want you to use the other knee and shoulder to walk, and then you'd be hurt over there too. But they tell you anything in these places. He said, I came to the military with flat feet, press platters. I was in air assault. He got injured while in the military. You need to be getting service connected. Have your dates if you went into any sick call after jumping out of the airplane. Let's see what our sister Yandel say, which is why I filed for higher level review. That's what you need to do. Don't ever stop fighting, Yandel. We're here to motivate each other because many times we get discouraged on these claims. Now let's talk about these presumptive claims. Presumptive claims such as if you were in Vietnam, cancer is a presumptive claim. They assume that you got the cancer from Agent Orange if you were in country, or you was close to the coast if you were in the Navy, because that's a presumptive, and you can get it if you have cancer. They don't need no direct service connection because how do they know? You know what I'm saying? It's been so long too. That's some Gulf War illnesses are presumptive. Some birth defects for children are presumptive for a Vietnam veteran. Did you know that? Now, let's talk about this presumptive. What is a presumptive service connection? The VA automatically believes, dealing with presumptive, the VA automatically believes that certain disabilities were caused by military service. So if you were in country and you can prove that you were there, that's kind of what the PACT Act and different things. So certain disabilities, they say more likely than not, you don't have to have much proof other than you were in country. Now, I don't know how they rate those. Let's see what Yandel say. The PACT Act and your benefits. Look at Yandel. She's talking about presumptive right here. Do you see? Y'all would think that she was actually I hired her or something. Look how Yandel doing this. Thank you, Yandel. You're so wonderful. Now, our brother Mike says what? Military Mike says this. You only need a diagnosis and spend time served in the right place for presumptive. Okay, I think. Now here's the thing. Yeah, you need a diagnosis, but you don't need to show service connection. All you need to show that you were in country at the time. You were in that area. All right. Now, how does the percentage work? Do they give you a flat rate for it? Because I've never gotten it. Or if you got a presumptive illness, they give a flat rate, or it's based on your severity level. Let us know in the chat. We're doing good here. Wonderful. Now, example is a non-military example, presumptive. If you're married to a woman, I just had to use because men don't have babies, the court's presumption is that the child is yours. Huh? But my big mama said, mama's baby is daddy's baby. You understand? She also said that Uncle Sam ain't no woman, but he'll sure take your man. Now, let's see what we got. So they make presumptions in the military that if you were there, you in the area, they assume that you qualify for the position. They assume that you got it from them. Now, they say a year to file a claim. All right, but they made special, what do you call it? They made special arrangements for the PACT Act. Oh, it's like any when you're doing presumptive claims, it's based on severity too. Okay, I'm glad to know that. The effective date is the start of the injury. Now that's the key thing. Tell me if I'm right on that. That's the key thing. Or if you wait too long, it's gonna be the date you file a claim. But that's the thing. Now let's see. Let me come back up on the screen. All right, I'm back on the screen with y'all. Yeah, where y'all at? Y'all here? Okay. We here. H-Town Vet is in the house. Let me get a few more of these questions so y'all know I'm here. Okay. Now I don't need two people. I need one person. So let's see what our military might. It's based on severity. I have a 10% for sinuses, sinusitis. I got a diagnosis from the neighborhood urgent care. Hold on. You can get diagnosis from these little urgent care places and you can take that into the VA and file claims? Really? Did y'all hear that? Did you know that? Military Mike just spilled the bean on anybody that just came in. Let us know where you, what's your branch of service, where you coming from. Military Mike has just dropped a bombshell. He got a diagnosis at one of these little area, these urgent cares, and took it into the VA and was able to get papered up on that. He got 10%. If you need a ride to the bank, Military Mike, let us know. Let H-Town Vet know. Now look what Yandel say. All veterans exposed to toxins and others have hazardous material, other hazards during military service at home or abroad eligible for VA health care. Now, let me ask you this here. They talked about Camp Lejeune, but there's the other places. Do the VA have a list of the other places in the United States, the basis where the contaminated soil that they're playing claims for. Because I know it ain't just Camp Lejeune. I forget, it's not Fort Stewart. I forget which other place, my friend, Fort McCulloch. Are there other places? Let us know in the chat that any of that y'all know of. Thank you, Yandel. So incredible. Now, thank you too, my brother. You mentioned that people with 100% P&T got called in for re-examination and people got in trouble. Is it illegal for the VA to do that again? No, they didn't get in trouble. They got instruction. The Office of Attorney General, they can only make recommendations. Ain't nobody got really in no trouble. They just gave them a warning and don't you do that again. Okay. Military Mike say, yes, sir. Now look at this here. Look at what Yandel said about this clothing allowance. And all you need is a 0% for a clothing allowance. You understand? Clothing allowance effective date, December 1st, 2023. If a skin medication, prosthetic, or orthopedic device related to your service-connected disability damages your clothing, we may pay you $999.61. I'm gonna have to update it. I didn't know it's almost $1,000, and this is a yearly stipend, right? I believe it's a yearly stipend, correct? Now let's see what Military Mike say. Here in Louisiana, all urgent cares are free to veterans. What you say? I'm gonna have to check it out around. I'm gonna go to my local urgent care down here in the Houston area where I'm from, and we're gonna figure this thing out. What about my dependent? What about my daughter? She got Champ VA. Will she qualify? Now, Yandel say the damaged clothing, and this may be a one-time payment, or we may pay this amount once a year. Note, you'll need to submit your application on or before August 1st, 2024 to get a clothing allowance for this year. Yes, there is a list of other places. Okay, good. And she says yes. Now I'm gonna pull out the screen for a minute. We're gonna continue doing this. I'm glad we've been keeping quite a few people here in the chat. I like this here. And I appreciate y'all's support. Now let's get back to it. Now let's move on. We're talking about presumption illnesses now. So far, we've talked about what? We've talked about primary claims. We talked about secondary claims. And now we're talking about presumptive claims. Let's see what's next. Reopen claims. So the fourth one is reopen claims. Where else you going to get this type of information but here at the H-Town Vet? We're talking about all 10 of them tonight. And if there are more, ain't nobody, even the VA ain't giving you this many. Reopen claims. Many of us have to reopen claims. So let's see what the time restraints are on reopen claims. Remember, your effective date is the back pay date. Remember that. Most of the time. Now, reopen claims. Who in here has had a reopen claim? Let us know. Let's see. Who in here had a reopen claim? Anybody had a reopen claim? Now let's see what we got here. Let me go back to the comment. Let's see what she got. Okay, military exposure, health, newsletter exposure, and your health. Okay, find related. Doctors, I can't hardly read it. Then I can't read that. It's get confused because of my eyes. Chest X-ray, Agent Orange. Okay, do it like you did it before, because I can barely see that. I'm blind as a bat. I got bifocals on over here. Now, Yandel, war veterans, illness, radiation-related diseases, vaccinations and medication. Yandel, we need to talk. Yandel, we need to talk because I need to know. When I was going over to Desert Storm, they gave me a needle and they injected something in my hip and I could feel the liquid pouring into my side. Are those the type of vaccinations before we went over to the Gulf that you're talking about? Let us know in the chat because I really need to know about that because I'm already 100%. Should I file for something dealing with presumptions or not if I'm already 100%? Unless it's something that's going to be a big payout. You understand? Let me know in the chat. If you just come in the room, let us know your name, branch, or services you would like to. We're talking about reopen claims now. Now with reopen claims, it's they all kind of fall in a similar way. It's the date you reopen the claim. Okay, that's where your back pay starts. That's your effective date. Or the date of your injury if you just got out within a year or so. Okay, it's kind of the same for most of them. Yandel say, yes, some vaccines. Well, what they gave us, Yandel, and I don't mind being very candid with y'all, they gave us a pesticide that hadn't been approved by the FDA. But I don't know what that, we were in Germany at the time, so I don't know what it was. They told us if we were going to go over there, it's supposed to protect us and Yandel and the family. They made us take pills. Who was over there at that store and they made you take pills? They drive me out and gave me headaches. And I stopped taking them. And they gave me an order. I had an order to take them. I wasn't taking that. Now, I stopped taking because they make my head hurt. Okay, I will see if I can find it. Thank you so much, Yandel. You're so incredible. And here comes Mr. International back with it. Let me read this here. I'm gonna pull myself up for a minute. Mr. International, one thing to consider is a lot of Navy veterans had to go firefighting school as a part of training and were exposed to AFFF, a firefighting foam that contained cancer-causing material. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I saw that foam. It just kills the fire, but it has harmful effects on veterans. This is what I need right here. Yandel bringing it to the forefront here. I appreciate you, Yandel. Vaccines and medications doing service. I need to look because they gave me a shot in my hip and they made me take medications while I was in country in Desert Storm. And it gave me headaches in the desert. So I stopped taking them. They gave it to me with the food. When the sergeant turned his back, I spit them out. I should. Can I get court-martial for spitting those pills out? Now they gonna come back and get me. I ain't take them pills no more. I don't care. That stuff making me sick. Now, let's go back to what we're doing. Thanks for that information, Yandel. And to let's see. We got somebody in the house. Hold on. I gotta greet one of my new people coming here. Please like, share, and subscribe if this is informative to you. Think you've been here before. Okay, they go to brother. Okay. Let's see. Okay. A vaccination. Okay, she said that. Okay, Navy, California, originally from H. You from H-Town? You from H-Town, my brother? Let me ask you this here, brother. Are you one of my Nigerian brothers? It's a large Nigerian population. I see the name. I look like it might be African, brother. Let me know. It's a large Nigerian population here in Houston. Are you? Because I have my homeboy, Okiki. That's my homie. Now let's see what Military Mike's saying here. You see, we're not just learning information. We're sharing information with each other. We're supporting. This is what you call, this is going to be a veteran think tank where we get together. You ain't got to have no special access to me. We right here. You understand what I'm saying? Now, here we go. I was a sergeant of the guard in Afghanistan, right next to the Shaba burn pits. The soot was nasty and got in my uniform. Yeah, that And I don't know about y'all, when we was out in that storm, they didn't want us really burying our waste. We had to burn it. So we had to burn that and put diesel in there, and that got in my nostrils. I went over there when Saddam blew up all them oil wells. All that oil stuff was over us, and we were sucking that in. It was the middle of the daytime. We out there in tanks, and it looked like nighttime. All that oil all around us and on our clothes. Real talk there. Now let's see what Yandel say. Found on this page, chemicals, Agent Orange, contaminated water. There you go. Radiation exposed, nuclear weapons. Wow. Air pollution, burn pits. You got your information right here with Yandel. Now, Yandel hazards, asbestos, lead, warfare agents, chemical or biological weapons. I don't know if any of you got this letter. I was actually over there. They sent me a letter back in 2000. They sent me 2 letters around 2000. And we were right in an area where they were blowing up vehicles, and they said there wasn't no chemicals in there. Then they tell me years later it was low levels of sarin gas. Remember, sarin gas was used by that Asian cult leader over there in somewhere in Asia, and he released it on a train and killed a lot of people. They told me I was exposed to low levels, and it didn't harm me. I didn't know what harmed me. They get out of here, like my New York brothers say. Brother James Lyons, Fort McClellan was originally included along with Camp Lejeune, but was later dropped from the legislation bill. Camp Lejeune was approved and Fort McClellan was not. Did anybody get any claims approved from Camp McClellan? Nobody, because it wasn't approved? Let us know in the chat. And why didn't they approve that? Let us know. I got these questions, you understand? Now let us continue. Okay, now liberalizing law changes. Liberalizing law changes. This is a bad thing if you in the middle of your claim and they change the law in the middle of your claim. That ain't funny, but I'm just saying. Now let's see what our brother James is saying here. He say what? He say there's a group of sick and injured veterans from Fort McClellan trying to get the VA to recognize presumptive conditions. Meaning if you were stationed in Fort McClellan, that most likely you deserve it. Let's see what our brothers say. What in the in and out of reopened claims? Okay, reopened claims. We're going to have to go in more detail. We're going to give a little information, a brief overview here, because we're covering so many. But we'll have one. We'll do a live stream dealing with each one of them, breaking them down in detail. We've kind of broke down primary claims, but we'll go into detail about reopened claims. Okay, we'll get something together on that, Angel. Now, the reason you would do a reopen claim, I mean not a reopen claim, no, Lord, liberalizing law when there's a law change. I mean, when they change a law, what happens to your claim? When is your effective date then? If they change the law, well, it'll be the date of the law change. So if the law changed, well, that's kind of cruel. You might lose some of your back pay. Or the year that's in review, that 1 year while it's in review. You might work out better for you. Now, let's continue. Now, this is the one that many of us, somebody asked earlier, that might have been you, John, talking about dependency and indemnity information, dependency, indemnity, compensation, or DIC, death benefits for the spouses and the children of a fallen veteran, or a veteran who is deceased. We're going to talk about that. But before we do that, we're going to come back up on screen and we're going to read this information that our brother Mike has said. I was at Fort McClellan from 1994 to 1995. We had to go to the radiation room to test chemical agent monitors. Wow. My MOS is 74D, chemical specialist. Let me tell you something, military Mike. You are a chemical specialist. Your MOS should almost automatically qualify you for some type of compensation because you're exposed to chemicals. That's your job. Check that out. Let us know. Thank you again, Dale, for breaking it down. I wonder what my brother D. Look, hold on. My brother here. Did I call it or did I call? Let me see what my brother say. Yes, sir. My father is Igbo. Huh? But I was born and raised in Houston. So was I, brother, born and raised here. Huh? You put in out great information, brother. Keep it up. Spread the word, my brother, and thank you for your service. Now we got some of our Nigerian brothers going into the military like that. I always had brothers and sisters from the Philippines and from Puerto Rico and Jamaica. I always see them over there. I always see a lot of them in there. Okay, now let us continue. Thank you, my brother. Now, let me fix this. Now, let's see what my brother say. Recently rated 100%, considering back to Texas in the future. Now, if you were born and raised here, if you went into the military from Texas, bro, you know we ain't paying no private tax on no house down here. You understand? We ride all in the Houston area, where you and I from, we ride all the tollways for free. Go watch our video, the 20 Texas benefits for veterans and dependents. And you'll be back in next week, partner. All right? Now, let's do this here. Let's talk about the DIC death benefit, dependency indemnity compensation. Let's talk about this. That's another type of claim, but it's not filed by the veteran. It's filed by the veteran's surviving spouse or children. Now, what you need is the veteran's death certificate, so you'll know the date of death. Now, this is also important, what we were talking about earlier. If they died, make sure on that death certificate, it had, if they died of a service-connected disability, that's why you need a copy of their award letter. That's why you need that, where your family can get access to it, to know what your service connections are. And the code sheet would be the best one to use. Then your family won't have to be looking through all this paperwork. Give a copy, keep several copies of your code sheet, and let your family know what it is, or at least they have a written thing after you die. Okay? And if you die of that service-connected disability, they get your benefits regardless of, it ain't no 10-year wait like usual. If not, let's say you're 100%, like my brother was saying, Obi. Let's say you're 100% and you pass, my brother. If you married, your spouse had, I think, at least be married to you for a year. But if it's not from a service-connected disability, you would have to have your paid at the 100% rate. You don't have to be 100%. You can be unemployability, TDIU, individual unemployability, or temporary 100%, or 100% permanent total. As long as you paid at the 100% rate, they will get they're going to get the death benefit. But they're only going to get a certain amount. All right? Now let's see what our sister Yandel said. She going at it, so let me middle by. So you need that death certificate. And if it's after 10 years, if the veteran was been 100% for 10 years, it don't matter what they die of. I've been 100% over 10 years. So guess what? I can die of anything, and they still gonna pay. If I had a spouse, they're gonna pay. Or a child under that's considered an official dependent. Now let's go to what our sister Yandel is saying. Okay, Sister Yandel say special claims. File a claim for special needs linked to your service connected disability. You can file a special claim to request compensation for special needs. Here are some examples of special needs. a specially equipped vehicle and your service-connected disability preventing you from driving, or temporary payments if you're covered from surgery or other treatment and unable to move. I just heard some boom boom outside. It's 4th of July, so I got a little nervous though. That's why I stuttered, so I apologize. You know, I ain't gonna jump on the floor or nothing, okay? Now, or increase payments if you can't work because of service-connected disability. You need to see this as these special claims. This is important because I don't think I cover special claims. That's why we have Ian Dale, D-Law, and my people in the house. Now let's go back. This thing is important because they're going to give you that last check. That's why you need the death certificate. When they died, so you need to know that. So not only do you get other benefits, get that death certificate, make sure it is filled out properly. Now, let us continue. The first day of the month, they're going to give you that check of the month they died. So if they died on the 15th of January, they're going to give the check for the 1st of January. All right? Month of death. Remember that. If a disabled veteran passes. So here we go. The first month veteran died is the effective date. This is dealing with the DI death benefit. So for them to get the money, so you need to get it in within a year. Remember that year thing? If not, if you wait out the year, they're only going to pay you the date you submitted the claim. Okay? So don't let a year pass. If the significant, tell your spouse, get that claim in, because they may not know about the claim. Give them information. Okay? Tell me if that's clear. Because so if you die, let's say, what month is this here? This month is July. If you die in July, if they file that claim within a year, they're gonna go back to July the 1st, even if you died on July the 4th. Now, I know y'all don't want to talk about death so much, but now here's the monthly payment. So for those you ask, do they get your full benefit, John? You asked that earlier, I think. No, they get the monthly payment of $1,612.75. They don't get your full, especially if you're 100%, they don't get your full VA payment. Let's see what our brother's saying here. Hey, brother, if I die before my wife, I'm coming back as a ghost to make sure she didn't move on with my benefits. Listen, you making it easy for the next fella. Leave all them benefits. Look, he ain't got to buy no clothes. All he had to do is come in there and use your clothes. Don't worry about that. You make sure she's straight with the next fella. Huh? You want your wife to be your wife to be happy when you gone. Buy him some new house, make sure some nice house slippers there and everything. He ain't gonna have no problem easing on in there. Huh? I'm tired of fattening frogs for snakes to eat. You understand? Come on, let's talk about it. Now, this is another thing that we talked about is claim substitution. Claim substitution is important because we talked about the fact that many people don't know that you can actually, if a veteran passes, the spouse in particular can be substituted into the claim. So you had a claim out and you were 70% and you end up getting proof for 100%, but you were already passed post-mortem, that they can prove the claim, but you must put in a claim substitution. They gonna tell you you can't do it. That's a lie. That's a lie. You can. Now, if you get a rating between 0 to 0%, you ain't gonna get no back pay. From 10 to 90%, you can get their back pay. Okay? If you get 100%, you get the back pay and the what? The DIC benefits of $1,600 something a month. Okay? Now let's see what they're talking about in the chat. Let's pull this up. Now, Let's see what we have here. Okay, now the VA posted a potential exposure notice for Fort McClellan regarding radioactive compounds, chemical warfare agents, and airborne polychloride, bio whatever, physates, PCB. Okay. But are they approving them? Are they acknowledging Fort McClellan? They posting it, but they ain't saying they're going to pay. Are they going to compensate veterans? Are they going to have presumptive illnesses from them? Now, also Agent Orange and other toxins. Okay. Because you know what, I got a feeling. You know, I was born in the late 1960s. So I think that some of them chemicals were stored here in the United States, but that's my personal opinion. I don't know that to be a fact. I wasn't born. I was a little baby back then. Now, let us continue. Now, let me see what anything else question happened. Let's see our brothers say here. No own compensation at this time. So no compensation for Fort McClellan at this time. Okay. Also Agent Orange. Now let us continue. This is a good one. This is important because they tend to make a lot of errors. We're going to get to this one here. Error in previous decision. So they made an error in the last decision. This happened on one of my claims where they made an error, or they had and they had to come back and correct it. So they had the back pay date or the effective date, same thing. Usually the same effective date is the back pay date where you start getting paid. They had to go back and correct that. And I got a nice little piece of change back in the day. I can't tell you what none of that money is now. Now let's see what our sister Yandel is telling us. Always putting out such powerful information. Say, hey, brother. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Yandel. I skipped you, Yandel. Brother, I'm sorry. Let me get to Yandel and I'm get to you. She said about the VA disability, the VA DIC for spouses, dependents, parents eligible. You may be eligible for VA benefits or compensation if you meet requirements. One of these must be true. You live in the veterans or service member without breaking up until death, or if separated, you weren't at fault for the separation. Well, they're gonna be dead, so you could just say you wasn't at fault if you're dependent. And here's the information. Now let's get something straight on this here. We did one on dependence. Let me tell you another with Yandel. If you put yourself out as married, if you die and the person you live with or shacking up with, as we call it in the South, if you've been walking around telling people that's my wifey over here, and y'all wasn't really married, the VA will also accept that. Did you know that? Which I don't see no big problem if you're gone, but if you got something you trying to leave to your kids, and this person, the VA says they gonna get the benefits, it may cause some problems. So make sure you got that understanding. If you go around talking about that's my hubby, that's my wifey, the VA will also consider that as evidence to give somebody them DIB benefits. Did you know that? DIC benefits, I mean. Now, let's see what he said. Hey, brother, can you give me a link to or any information that I could find out about clothing allowance? You mentioned that there was a deadline. You got to go back in the chat, Yandel, or I think our brother, I forget our brother, he mentioned it earlier. Go back up. He mentioned exactly what, he broke all that down about that. One of our brothers back there. Okay? So it's in the chat, and they might put it back out here again, okay? But yeah, it was in the chat. Now let's talk about an error in the decision. That means the VA made an error in making a decision on your claim. Okay? Now let's get back to it. Now, dealing with an error in previous decision, that means they made a mistake. So when does the effective date start then? Let's find out. If they made the corrected decision date. So let's say they made a mistake in the decision they gave you. Well, they corrected it. I know they whenever they corrected decision date. So if they corrected from the date that it happened, that's when they would start. Now, let's continue. Differences of opinion. So if different, I'm assuming this is different raters have different opinion about whether you're service connected, but another one say you're not service connected. If there's a difference of opinion on whether you should get the rating or not, let's see how that falls. That's another type of claim, difference of opinion. So one of them say you should get the benefits, the other say you shouldn't get the benefits. The VA is always supposed to rule on your behalf if there's conflicting evidence, huh? Now let's see what he said. Okay, Brother James said, statement from the VA reference Fort McClellan, although exposure is high levels of these compounds, have been shown to cause a variety of adverse health effects in humans and laboratory animals. Okay. There is no evidence of exposure at the magnitude having occurred at Fort McClellan. So they say they deny until a whole bunch of people passed away. Huh? They did the same thing with Agent Orange. People were complaining about that in the late 60s and early 70s when they was getting out. And they waited years to pay them. Now, Yandel, you can go to the department that issued leg brace and fill out a clothing allowance. This is the information you need, dog face soldier. You can go to the department that issued the leg brace and fill out a clothing allowance form. There, VA clothing allowance, and she left the website or the how to contact them. Now, so what happens then? So when you have the date of the original decision, so if the original decision was an error, and then you got another decision saying, no, it's right, they say that was wrong, that last decision was wrong, then they go back to the original decision that was incorrect. Now let us continue. We about to get to this after party, y'all. So stick around. Okay, hold on. Let me get that. And other claims you filed, you're just filing for an increase. So that's another type of claim. Increase in disability rate. Many of us filed this one. This is one of the most popular ones. Increase in disability. We've almost all. So you trying to get that percentage higher. So you might have a 30% rating and you feel like your condition gotten worse, more severe, so you want to increase, or they gave you a rating and you feel like it was an unjust rating and you want a higher percentage. You can dispute on appeal for an increased rating. Now, how does it work? The date disability increase is the effective date. Now, understand what they mean by that. If there's evidence in your file that your disability, you might have filed a claim on July 1st, but they got evidence all the way back for about 3 or 4 months showing before that your disability, you got evidence showing, they'll go back to that date, that the day that the condition got worse, the disability increased. Or if you wait a year, that only when you request it, if you request within 1 year and submit it. If not, after a year, it's going to be the date that you file it. Okay? They always work on that year thing. Now, let us continue. Now, this is the main one. Please stay in the room if you're here. Yandel talked about this before. Please, if you're in that VA hospital and they give you treatment or your family member treatment, and they died to a hospital stay, that's a claim. Now let's see what Yi and Dale are talking about here. Yi and Dale say, what's duty to assist? This means what they were required to help you gather evidence to support your claim for VA benefits. We'll make a reasonable effort to help you get these types of evidence. And she's going to tell you what those types of evidence is. The VA is supposed to work with you. Now let us continue on the hospital thing. If something like malpractice happens to you while you're at the VA hospital, you can file a claim on that. If it caused the veteran's death, the family can file a claim on that. Okay? If the doctor did something, or medical staff, anything in the hospital, you can file a claim on that. Now let's see what Sister Yandel. VA medical records, military service records, and other type of federal records, private medical records, like reports from non-VA hospital or from your private healthcare providers, you need to tell. There you go. Now, us, when she say us, she talking about the VA. Tell us what type of records you want to gather for you. The VA is supposed to gather all these records. That's their duty to assist. The dates of the records and where we can find them. To help us decide your claim, we may also ask you to have a claim examination, called a CMP exam, or you can do your private DBQ, public DBQ with a outside doctor. Now, CMP exam, or we may request a medical opinion. Now, listen, when it comes to your private records outside the VA, don't get them access to all that. Give them to the stuff you want. That's why you want your outside doctor to go over, because you don't want something to be in there that could hurt your claim. Now, let us continue. If you got malpractice at the hospital, what happens? If at the VA hospital, if you can file a claim within a year of the veteran's injury or death, and that's the effective date. All right, when it happened. If you file it within a year, it's going to be the day the veteran was injured or was harmed. Or it'll be in the date injury began to get worse. All right, so let's say it may not affect you right then, but as time went on, it got real bad, and that's what we're talking about. If you get injured at a hospital right now, if you're just coming into the room, you can file a claim on that at the VA hospital. For injury or death at the VA hospital, your family can file for if you pass. Now let's see what Yi and Dale say. VA Title 38 USC 1151 claim if you suffered an added disability or your existing disability got worse while you were getting VA medical care or taking part in a VA employment program, you may be. Wow, I didn't know that. So if you're in one of therapy work programs, if you get hurt, they're responsible for that too. And see, y'all need to look this up. Now let us continue. Now we want to thank you for joining us, and we thank y'all for being in the room. We're going to do the after party, and we're going to talk about a few little things. We got some good information for you over there. You're going to learn something about that 100% state. I think it was you, John. One of you veterans asked about, I'm 70%, 100%. I got the answer to your question. Hang in there. Our cash out is H-Town Vet Northside with the HTVUS and N uppercase. All right, that's the Cash App. So if you'd like to donate, we appreciate it, and we appreciate those who donated in the past. Now let's see what our brothers say here. Is a CMP exam a basic format? Well, a basic formality. No, a CMP examination may establish a diagnosis. It may establish service connection. It may establish severity level, or all three. Now, it's not a formality. Or is it a positive indicator that your condition has a good chance of being rated? Well, that's what they determine. They're gonna say yay or nay. They're gonna say, let's say you walk in there and you claiming something, but you ain't never had no diagnosis, you have never had no nexus, no connection between your military service, your or anything in your condition, or any severity level. If they say there ain't no diagnosis, it stop right then. If they say it's a diagnosis but don't connect it to your military service, it stop right then. If they say it's a diagnosis and it's connected to your military service, but it's not affecting you now, it's not severe, they're going to give you 0% rating. You're going to be service connected, but you ain't going to get compensated for it until you get a 10% rating. They might do all of them right there at that CMP exam. You understand? Now, and thank y'all on that. Let's see what else we got next here. Okay, we're going to talk about the power of knowledge, and that's what we're doing. By reading and things that people like Ian Dale, Mike has done, Military Mike, and a powerful question by Dogface Soldier. James, our brother James, been putting it down too. All of y'all, our brother OB, Angel, all of y'all have been putting out great information. Knowledge is power. The things that y'all putting in the chat, this is powerful. Now let us continue. Now understand here at the H-Town Vet how we're doing things. When I created this channel, my goal was this. When we created this channel, it was I got my plans together. I said I want to do something different. I want to be innovative. I want to do things different from other people, because a lot of people were putting out very good knowledge, but they were talking and not giving any illustrations. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able that you can listen to me talk and learn something, or you can also watch the video and learn something through the visuals. This is very important because a lot of times this helps us to learn, even with the chat. You learn so much from the chat here. Now let's see what and also organization. I want to organize the information where it's easy. This is our game changer. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna come back up on the screen here for a second. You might see me drinking water. Don't be mad at me. All right, let's see what he said here. Now he said, for man, let's see what our brother Dogface said. We read that one. How do you avoid recalls when it comes to reevaluation, especially at the 100% rate? Well, if you don't open no new claims, if you're 100% permanent total or 100% TDIU, they really ain't gonna bother you for the most part. They can, but they don't. When you open a new claim, they can let's say you open up a new claim for something different from what you're service connected for. So you got PTSD at 100%, but you open up a claim for your foot. Well, if it ain't gonna give you extra income, I don't know why you're doing it, but there may be some reasons that you might do it, especially open up a claim for presumptive illnesses. If they're gonna give a whole bunch of back pay money for like Camp Lejeune or something, you might want to risk opening up a claim, even though you might be 100%. But the decision will be yours, not mine. Now, that's one of the reasons, my brother. Let's continue. This is the thing that we continue to talk about. What are we going to do when we have pending claims? You're going to be preparing for the next step. You're going to be checking. This is going to answer the question of the last live stream when somebody say, I've been waiting 5 months. What do I do in the meanwhile? Well, I got the answer for you. I got the answer for you, okay? What do? Do you sit back and chill? Huh? No, you fill out one of these forms. If you ain't heard from the VA in 5-7 months, and this is what you put on it. You feel me? Watch what I'm about to say. You fill out the supported claim form 214138, and you're going to ask for an update on your claim. Anybody in here right now, you better be listening to this. When you get frustrated with the VA, it's taking a long time to complete your claim. You need to do like Al Green said, you need to put it on paper. You understand? If you start questioning what's taking y'all so long, and you're going to do it a certain way, follow me here. Okay? I'm put the information on here. Make sure, look at what the banner I got at the bottom here. Watch this here. Make sure you contact your representative, if you have one, at least once or twice a month for an update on your claim. While waiting on a decision on your claim, you need to do the following things if you haven't already. Have not already. So follow me. Are y'all ready for the information? If you waiting on your claim to be approved, already waiting on that step, this is the first thing you need to do. Request a copy of your C file or claims file from the VA Benefits Administration, VA Regional Office. Remember, that's what they call VA Benefits Administration, the VBA, by submitting a FOIA request, or you can get a copy from your lawyer that's representing you, because they got access to your record, or you can get a copy from your what do you call it? The officer that's helping you, your representative that's helping you, American Legion, whatever. That's the first thing you need to do if you haven't done it. Next thing you need to do, request a copy of your in-service military records to include medical, dental records, personnel files, and copies of your DD-214 personnel files. All right. Video requesting in-service. Okay. I have a video at the H-Town Vet on requesting your military records. You should watch that also. And the advantages of your military records. There's another video on that. Number 3, write and date a letter documenting all of the evidence and concerns that took place during the CMP examination. That's if you got an examination. And would it be a good idea to hold the letter until after you receive your decision. I wasn't able to write all of it on there. Your decision letter. If the claims are approved at your percentage, so let's say you got that CMP exam when they gave it to you before you got your decision from the VA, and you saw some good stuff in there. You ain't got to say nothing. They got to look over it anyway. Let them look over it. If they approve it, cool. Just keep a copy of it if they ever try to come back and get janky. If you get approved, you don't need to write no rebuttals or nothing. If your claims are approved at the percentage you believe to be fair, just save the letter, meaning that the CMP exam. If not, it would be a good idea to submit the letter as part of the new appeal. The letter showing and a supported claim with the DBQ. Now listen, you can say to them, I need to know the status. You can fill one of these claims out saying, it's been this many months since y'all last heard. I need an update on my claim to find out whether y'all approved it. Now, have y'all scheduled a CMP exam for me? And if you haven't scheduled a CMP exam, when will you be doing so? Or if you have scheduled one, when will I have it? If you already had a CMP exam, you're going to say to them, hey, I've had my CMP exam. Where y'all at on my claim right now? You understand? So this is a powerful way to keep a paper trail and put pressure on the VA. They say, this person is writing me. They making me do my job. If you don't say nothing, they going to say, well, you never said nothing to us. Now, let's continue. Remember, the whole goal is this. Is when you file your claim, you You ain't just waiting on the claim decision. You already preparing for your appeal. You can evidence that make sure all your evidence is tight and get your rebuttal ready in case they deny you. Okay? Now let us continue. Now, when that thing get approved, now you need to be writing the information and doing things that's going to protect your benefits. If you get the rating that you want, you need to make sure that if you got all your claims straight and you don't need any of them, they're not necessary, the extra claim, close them if you don't need them. Don't open up no new ones unless necessary. All right? Now, any questions? Let's see, hold on. Did I put the happy hour in? Don't look like I got my happy hour thing on here. Where happened my happy hour thing? That hurt my feelings. But any questions, statements, let us know here at the H-Town Vet. Let us know. Let's see what Miller said. Let's see what Bernie say. How long does it take to receive a C-file these days? Is it a year? I don't know. When it comes to the C-files, which is your claim file, everything, this does not just include VA disability claims. This will also include things if you file for the certificate of eligibility for a house loan, any stuff dealing with your dependents, adding, removing dependents. This is gonna have everything in there. Let's see what what Yandel say that it's taking her a long time. I never got mine and I applied for it twice. I don't understand if you don't have a diagnosis for a CMP exam, what is the VA's deciding factor on granting you a CMP exam? No, what you got to understand, when you go to the CMP exam, the doctor is going to evaluate. They might diagnose you with PTSD at the CMP exam. If you got enough material, sometimes the VA deny you straight out, but sometimes you get diagnosed at the CMP exam if you got evidence of some kind of issues or something like that. Yeah, you might get diagnosed at the CMP exam. You might get service connected at the CMP exam, and they might give your severity level at the CMP exam. Now, I'm having to get, he said, I'm going to have to give you a grown and sexy mamacita for your life, brother, so she can take good care of you, big pimp. And I hear you, man. I just don't want a woman making no whole bunch of noise. They get to making demands and that my nerves get bad. I need to go in there and wash some dishes, cook some food, and tell a few lies, tell them how I'm the only one. That's what I want to hear. I don't need a whole bunch of yelling and stuff, man. Now let's see what our sister Yandel say. I got a partial C-file 2 years ago. It takes 6 to 12 months to get a C-file. Lord have mercy. I might be dead in 12 months. Lord have mercy. I need to get mine. Listen here. You know what we need to do? We need to do what Yandel say. Go to your VSO, Veteran Service Officer, or to your lawyer and get it. If you don't have that, get one just so you can get the copy of it, because they have access to information. I got my code sheet through that. Now let's see. So like I say, that's it on there. Somebody right at the end of the chat, I forgot who it was. Hey, how do you donate? Right here. So because y'all keep asking me, and I appreciate everything y'all do. It's here. The $ H-Town Vet Northside with the HTVN capitalized. Now let's go on. I'm gonna take it off the screen for a second, and I'm gonna pull myself up. Give me a second here. because I'm about to I'm gonna move this back to what we talked about, because y'all brought up an interesting thing. There it is. Now, let's see here. What y'all was saying here. Got brother Kevin in the house. Evening, family. Glad to see you. I know you're a family man, Kevin, but we glad to have you here. Y'all got any questions of me? Any questions of Yandale? Any questions of Bernie? Military Mike, let us know. We got retirees in the house. We got people that good reference people in the house. You got any questions that we can try to help? We can put our minds together and help you, because we are the experts. Now, let me show you this here again. Remember, if you have a medically recognized injury or condition, that's called a diagnosis. If the injury is connected to your military service, that's called a nexus. How does the injury affect your ability to work? That's the severity level. So you can go into a CMP exam and they can diagnose you. They can develop a nexus. They're not going to write a nexus letter per se. They just going to fill all that out on the DBQ. All this, a diagnosis can be put on the DBQ. A nexus could be put on the DBQ, and a severity level. Now, all that can be put on DBQ, and the severity is where the money's at. It's amazing. A lot of y'all come right at the end. What is it, y'all like the after party or something? Y'all come, I mean, it'd be a whole bunch of people in here. Now, I found, look what this brother said. I filed 8 claims once, but only 5 of them got CMP exam. Not all of them. Why is that? Well, if they feel like they can make a decision that you don't have enough evidence to prove it, they can do that. For example, when I filed for post-traumatic stress disorder, I had evidence that I was in a combat zone. So they say it's a chance that he might have it. But if I was filing for PTSD for being in Desert Storm and I wasn't even in Desert Storm, that'd be a different thing. Or if I'm claiming something for Camp Lejeune, they can deny it right out. If you had an error on the document, if you put an error, they just cancel it right then. Oh, you put the wrong dates. That wasn't when that happened. They look for stuff like that. Now let's see what our sister Yandale is saying. Okay. She said individual unemployability if you can't work because of a disability related to your military service. It's really just unemployability, but there's 2 types of unemployability. There's individual unemployability, like Yandale said, and there's TDIU, total disability individual unemployability, which is permanent and total, like 100% permanent total, just work restrictions. And she say, relate to your military service, you may qualify for individual unemployment. This means you'll be able to what? Get compensation or benefits at the same level as a veteran who has a 100% disability rating. Keep reading to find out if you are eligible. And we got several videos, but here's some information. They're gonna always come with receipts. Huh? Like my brother say, she don't just come with receipts, she come with invoices. That's why I'm copying my brother now. She not just gonna tell you what you paid, she telling you what you owe. Huh? She gonna keep the VA in line. Now let's see what we got here. Cause Yandale, she when she start typing, she gonna do it. She says she not bringing peace, she bringing drama to the VA. What's an example of individual unemployability? A veteran has a service-connected heart condition at a 60% disability rating. She was still able to work She still was able to work until last year when she began to get what? Chest pains when doing any physical, like walking or lifting boxes. Now, I had never had nobody articulate it like this. I like how you put that, Yindell, that even though the chest pains are not service connected to the 100% rate, she has a 60% rating, and because the chest issues related is keeping her from working, making her unemployable. She won't be 100%. She'll be 60 paid at 100%. She filed a claim for more disability compensation. We received her work and educational history and agree that she was individual unemployed because of her service-connected disability. So we increased her disability compensation to the same rate as a 100% veteran. The only difference now that you have to worry about if you have children, the only difference, if you get just regular IU, not TDIU, but regular IU, that you won't get CHAMP VA or DEA college benefits, educational benefits. If you just individual unemployability, you will get them at TDIU because that's a permanent rating. You only get the healthcare and the educational benefits if the rating is permanent. All right, at the 100% rate. Let's see what our sisters say. Our brothers say, Yindell is good. Woman, H-Town, you need to take good care of a big pimpin'. He being messy, Yindell. Yindell, my sister, I got a lot of respect for it. Don't get me beat up by a man. I don't want no problem. Now, here we go. Copy from the website. I can't take the credit. Let me tell you, take the credit because you know where to find the information. You are a reference person. We giving you all the credit because you know what? I go on the websites and I just be looking at the screen, not knowing what I'm looking at. You got that technological savvy information and we appreciate you. Now, remember, diagnosis, nexus, and severity. Sometimes they'll do them in CFP exam. Sometimes they'll deny you before you get there. The VA is random. The VA, sometimes I like to say, is random as a war zone. Now, let me see what else I can find here. Pull myself up, and I'm going to see what else I can find. We're going to kind of... I'm going to kind of let it play from the beginning. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, here we go. Now, like we say, we glad that you're here, Jones H-Town Vet. We were talking about how that money increased that back pay depending on your effective date and depends on the type of claim that you file. That's what starts your effective date. Now, we're going to do a little recap doing that. This we're in the after party. The introduction, we're going to talk about time is money when you're dealing with the VA. The longer you have to wait, and we talked about dealing with that VA claims office. Okay? This is very important when you're dealing with this VA claims office. Remember, have you ever had the VA use word confusion with you? Meaning, you say, hey, I want my decision letter. I want my decision letter, but they give you a award letter, and they confuse you in the things that they say. Let us know in the chat. So you need to know what you're going in there for. And you need to understand another thing they confuse you with. They call themselves the Veteran Affairs, Department of Veteran Affairs, but they're actually the Veterans Benefit Administration, the VBA. And there's actually 3 parts. We went over this earlier, but we just recapped. There's also the VHA, which is the Veteran Healthcare Administration, and the NCA, which is the National Cemetery Administration. These 3 components make up the VA system, overseen by the Office of the Secretary. All right, in the President's administration. Now, I always say it's best to file a claim if you can in person. File it with a stamped copy. You can do it online and get a receipt. But if you're not as savvy with that, go in there and get a stamped copy. Now, here's what we taught here. This is what we've developed here at the H-Town Vet. Nobody else tells you this. Now, they know a lot of things, some knowledgeable people out there. But the H-Town Vet, remember what our goals, we said at the end of the video, is to organize. About to get to your comment, Dogface Soldier. Evidence-based VA claims. The first thing you need to do is focus on what you're trying to get, what you're trying to accomplish. Do you want 100% permanent total? Do you want an increased rating on your flat fee for aggravation? Because you came in with flat fee, but you're aggravated. So you need to know what type of claim. Are you coming in for a presumptive claim? All right. Now let's see what Dogface Soldier saying. And then you need to get your evidence related to your claim, medical, whatever else it is. You've been in a war zone. It could be your DD-214 too. Then you need the VA law that backs that up. And then you need to put in the proper request. Now let's pull this up here and let's see what my people saying to us over here. Now, first we're gonna start with Dogface Soldier. I hired a veteran compensation specialist to handle my claim for him to get me 100%. Everything is good to go, but it's still pending. He told me that he has a 95% success rate. Okay. All right. Take his word for it. Okay. 4,500. If you got that kind of understanding, I don't know if they certified or not, but if they helping you, you okay with it? Now, but he told me more than likely I will get 109%. Now, if you get up to 160, you can get an extra $500 a month, almost $500 special month permanent total. So what you need to worry about, making sure you get you that show it to you. Say you need something you can see. Promises are okay. Now thank y'all for joining us. We're getting ready to close out. All right. Now I want to thank y'all for this live stream. Any final statements, shout outs? Y'all want to say anything? Tell somebody else. All right, let's finish it up here. What our brother say here? He say it's still 4 months already, and it's still pending. So I am going to go forth and file for a form that you proposed earlier. Yeah, the support a claim form to get more information about that. Now, Yandel, I mean, Brother John said, thanks for everything, John. John said, thank you for everything. I want y'all to give a special thanks to Yandel, especially tonight, because she really showed up and showed out. You understand? And also for Angel and for our brother. Give us thanks to Brother Lyons and even the brother that came in late because he with his wife. I want to shout out all y'all. But thank you, Yandel, for all this great information. All right. Thank you, Yandel. Now, how to apply for veteran burial allowance. I didn't know how to apply for it. Thank you for that. Find out how to get veteran burial allowance, sometimes called veteran death benefit, to help cover burial costs, funerals, and transportation costs. I didn't know they covered transportation costs. All right. All right. Say thanks to all. Thanks to all. We getting ready to close out. Whenever we get ready to close out, more people start joining the live stream. I don't know what's up with us, but I'm gonna stay here. We gonna shout it out. She say, "Here go the burial thing, the information." He say, "Hey brother, when are you going to come to Southern California?" You know, he making form. It's like conform a form here already, like you can form and do let's see, my brother said, a seminar with veterans. I like to talk to fellow veterans. You think I'll be able to do that? Do you think I'll be able to get up there and talk to some veterans and lay down some knowledge? Or do you think I might hide behind the podium? What you think will happen, man? I don't know. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thanks you all. Look at it. This brother here, or sister, I don't know what y'all think, your brother. Alco, he sends me the most encouraging things. He be praising y'all. He be telling me how important this channel is. And my head is already big. I can barely put these earphones on. I'm tired of dealing with y'all, man. Y'all gonna get my head exploding. Seminar with veterans. Okay. I'd like to do something like that. Okay, shout out to all veterans, brethren, and sisters, and my wife, Veronica. The journey is so long, always. He said yes, that's true. This person said, when I'm on the I'm gonna keep this playing until y'all stop writing things. Y'all keep writing. As we at the after party, so whoever want to leave, they can. But as long as they keep putting these texts up, I'm gonna put it up. Now, evidence needed for your disability claim. When you file a disability claim, we reviewed, this is the VA talking, reviewed all evidence supporting documents to determine if you are eligible for benefits. Found out what evidence. That's what you need. That's what you need to find out, whatever you need. That's why you need to come here to the H-Town Vet, where we break down each document. We break down the VA code sheet. We break down your decision letter. We break down what? We break down your notification letter. We break down your award letter. We also give you the formula. These are all videos, and they're self-contained, and they connect to each other. We got the formula for winning VA claims. We tell you how to win a successful VA claim. The 4 steps, the formula that's all connected and related to each other. You understand? Now, let's see here. I thank y'all for being here. Y'all something else, man. Y'all continue. You would go there, the VA representative is worried about your paperwork being right, the evidence that you're putting in, your money. If you win the claim, they got to calculate your percentage, then your money. Okay? And if they deny your claim, they got to tell you why on the denial letter. And that's what you could use to get an increased claim. Hold on. I must have missed something. Yandel say, I think I read this one. I'm going to read it again just to make sure I didn't. Evidence needed for your disability claims when you file disability claim. Supporting documents eligible for benefit. I think I read that one. Now, this one I don't think I read. You need and learn about your options for gathering documents to support your claim. And here's right here what you need to do. How to gather documents to support your claim. They got it laid out. You hear Yandel telling. Let me finish this up. VA decision and appeals. And the legacy VA appeals process has changed to the decision review process. They keep changing these names. Remember I told you how the VA use word confusion? They got the fast track. They got the this. They used to have a fast lane and all that. They just keep changing things and ain't nothing changing but the words. If you disagree with the VA benefits or claim decision, you can choose from 3 decision review. So you got options, okay? Now, let us continue here. Remember what we were saying earlier, that the award effective date, that's the effective date we've been talking about throughout. That's the date, it is the date back pay starts accumulating and building up until your payment effective date, all right? So you'll see that on your notification letter. And it'll tell you for Mr. Brown, it was August the 15th. Now, hold on. And here are the documents. Your award effective date is on your decision letter, your notification letter, and your code sheet. Hold on, I'm missing something here. Let's see. Let's see what my brother said. To be real, brother, this is a physical therapy. To me, love being around former veterans like myself. This means a lot to me because sometimes I be kind of, let me get back on the screen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't talk to people, but I don't talk to people much. You know, if I'm outside my house, I'm trying to go from one place to another. I'm trying to keep down confusion. You know, it's hot here in Texas, so people can be cutting up and all kind of stuff. You know, so I'm just trying to keep peace. So coming here with y'all really means something because I'm around like minds, and I can express myself without people being hostile toward me or not understanding what I'm trying to say. I ain't gonna say I have too many people hostile. I get that from time to time. I'm in Texas. Yandel said, okay, let me see. From 3 Decision Reviews, I think we saw that. Now listen what Brother James be bringing that hot fire. Toxins presented at Fort McClellan, PCB, mustard gas, Agent Orange, Agent Blue, Cobalt, Coast-60, CESIUM, C-137, uranium, plutonium, napalm, B, white phosphorus, nerve gas, and blister. Good Lord. And they haven't approved Fort McClellan. Do you see how he bringing the knowledge? That's why we need everybody's expertise. All of our expertise brought together here. We're going to be a veteran support group. That's what we are. Now, let me see what my sister Yandel talking about. Sister Yandel say, the VA claim process, after you file a VA claim, your VA claim, learn about what happens after you file your claim to find out the average number of days it takes a VA disability claim, to complete. Now, look, she give you the website. There you go. They give you projected days. So if it take longer than that, that's when you submit that supported claim form. My claim has been in since this day. I haven't received any information. So let's say it's been 4 or 5 months. You need to put in there. Or tell them whatever has happened that you know of to that day. I have had a CMP exam and they haven't got back to me yet. Let them know. Now let's continue. That money starts accumulating. You understand? When you on your award effective date, the money starts when either you file that claim. Yeah, that's several reasons, but the main one is the date you file a claim. But that's the effective award effective date is when that money starts accumulating. And you get successful in your claim, then you get the back pay. If you're not successful the first time, you can file for an appeal and your back pay money will keep going. If you let a year elapse, then you lose all that back pay. So you got to appeal it within a year, the denial. Don't ever get discouraged and just give up. Okay? Now, we talked about the award effective date. Now, we're going back over some things here. Now we're talking about the payment effective date. The payment effective date is the date your monthly payment starts accumulating, it's in the first month before your first compensation check is deposited. So they don't pay you until a month is lapsed. So let's see what they're talking about there. For example, let me take myself off the screen. That they talked about, let's say you get paid on that your payment effective date is May 9th. Well, they're not gonna pay you to June 1st. And when they pay you, they're gonna pay you your first monthly payment check and your back pay. Or they might pay some of your back pay if it's a large amount. Here's the thing I gotta tell you about that. If you are under a fiduciary, because you've been declared incompetent, they're going to give you a monthly payment. Let's say it's 100%. They give you 100%, but they're not going to give you back pay until they assign a fiduciary or find out somebody's going to be over your check. We're coming up with a video about fiduciaries, so I want y'all to, be looking for that coming up. Now, you get your monthly check, like I say, if you got a fiduciary, but at the same time, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, if you're just coming in, please like, share, and subscribe. Now, here are the type of claims. We're probably going to stop it here. Tell me what type of claims if you file that's on the screen. Let us know. Have you ever filed a direct claim, a presumptive claim, secondary claims? We might close out of this if y'all stop checking, and we'll close out. And now we're going to keep it going. Tell me what kind of claim have you filed. Now let me see. There you go. What type of claim have you filed? Have you filed any of these type of claims? Let us know. Come on, we're going to close out on this. That's the topic for tonight. Let us know which one you filed, because that's going to help us. You're going to be. So somebody filed for an increase. John filed for an increase claim. Who filed for a secondary claim? Okay, secondary. We got our brother Al I can't pronounce it, brother. Alcazar. Okay, took me to 100% PNT. Now that's powerful, because remember who filed for increases in here? Okay, Dogface filed for increase. Who else got a secondary claim? Anybody here done that presumptive? I think I know Yandel had a secondary claim. Let's see what you had. Okay, let's see. That's it. Now that's all you done. Now I filed for just direct service connection. Now I want to ask you this here. If you could get okay. Yandel say new claim, supplemental claim, increase the higher level review. Okay. I did hit H-Town Vet. I'm talking about myself. Ain't that weird? Direct service connection. I did direct service connection. Now, let me ask you, anybody in here ever done one with the hospital? You filed a claim against the VA. Yandel did a direct also. That's when you just file and you just like the regular, that's the standard claim. Who have known anybody ever done a DIC, death benefit, where you file a claim for your spouse who was 100% service connected? Anybody remember if you ever had any claims? Okay, great show, H-Town Vets, and all of my fellow armed service vets. Okay, this is the cool channel. It shares any information I come across on my end as well. Yes, do that. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Now, what I want y'all to tell me, if y'all don't mind telling me, why y'all what makes the channel different from what y'all see out there? I know I may be lacking in some areas because I haven't been on here long. I just started live streaming maybe a month or so ago, about a month or less. What made you interested in the channel? What's different? Is it the chat, the engagement? Is it the visuals? What is it? you prefer people to come on the screen. What is it that made it interesting? What y'all like about it? Let me know. Let us know in chat. Everybody, okay, the difference between you and everybody else is that you interact with the veterans unlike other people that post videos already. Okay, that's good. That's good. So we ain't gonna never stop doing the chat because I like to talk. So you gotta understand something. I talk all day. We can talk all night. So it's the chat. I'm learning something. Chat. Okay. You go live and answer questions on the spot. Huh? You say Johnny on the spot. Hold on, I gotta pull myself up now. He blew my head up again. You know I gotta come up here. I'm Johnny on the spot. That's what I used to tell the lady. I'm Johnny on the spot. That's back in the day. Now I ain't like that. Okay, now here we go. The host, the community, and the visuals. Wow. We need to know because so the visuals is not too much. I don't do too many slides. Let me know. Let me see. John says videos are outstanding, visuals are off the charts, and information is second to none. Why y'all sitting there stroking my ego? Look, I'm gonna tell my daughter she gonna have to drive me around now. My daughter needs to go drive me around because I'm big time. She gonna go sit down somewhere, Dad. Okay, it's very informative and you speak my language. Let's slow this material. So I slow walk it, huh? Let's slow walk it. I don't need to see. Look, I can articulate the language, even though I have a Southern accent. I can articulate the language, but I'm not trying to use language that people don't understand. I don't like when people do it to me. I can express myself. I'm back home. I'm in Texas, and this is where I'm from. So I kind of, some of the big articulations, man, I'm at home. I'm loving it. Now, here we go. Get your medical records. Now, y'all need to listen to this right now. Yandel is helping you in ways you got to understand. And when D-Log, he gets off the chain, and then our brother Bernie be cutting up, and John be asking powerful questions, and Mr. International, I don't know where you came out of left fields, and one of the most encouraging people on the planet is ALCOZAR. Now let's see what she say. She say, get your medical records online, review, print, save, download, and share your VA medical records and personal health records with our online tools. Now listen, those records, if you get an independent, you get a public DBQ, you print it off, you get a copy of your medical records, you can take that into the doctor. Take your C file into the doctor so that they can see, because they can't make a decision without having the information that a regular CNP examiner would have. In most cases, sometimes they're able to do it, but you want to have the most stuff you can have. And I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna get my lighting straight. I'm sorry that light look like I got a halo over my head, like I'm some good Christian. I'm in a backslidden state right now. I gotta get back to the house of the Lord. I ain't been to church in a while. Now here we go. VA.gov healthcare, get medical records. This is what we need to do. Y'all need to follow what she's saying. Sign up and say your password. Look, he said he laughing his butt off here. Let me tell you something. Okay. You need a super chat. Well, I got the Cash App, man. Check that out. I'm going to figure it out. It's sad because I'm embarrassed because I got to figure out how to monetize my channel. I got enough subscribers now, but I ain't done it yet. It's been about a week. I'm going to do it, man. I'm sorry. I got to get stuff together. Because I need to monetize the channel. Because I can do it now that I got enough subscribers and watch hours. Okay, clinical appears of medical treatment decision. If you disagree with a decision that your VA healthcare team makes about your treatment or care, you can request to have another medical professional. Yes, you better do that, because they can say stuff that can cost you your benefits, and something that's in error. So you need to get copies of when you go to a doctor. Read what your medical records, see what they say. Review that decision. That's what she's saying. This type of decision review follows our clinical appeals process. Read this page to learn how to appeal a medical treatment decision and what to expect when you do. I think it was Yandel said her doctor, one of her doctors said, you can read what I write? Duh, yeah. Because she said that they weren't doing it. I think it was you, Yandel. Now, these are things after a while. Here's where you go for clinical appeals. Any information that they put incorrect in your medical files, your doctor, nurses, and they say they did something, but they didn't do it, or they say you said something, your mental health doctor, but you didn't say it. You can refute that, and you can request another doctor. How do they request another doctor, Yandel? Do you know? Or one of y'all? Okay, here we go. This channel is necessary. Unlike others, you're not talking over people's head. That's the key. Now, Mr. International, you say, what's the Cash App? Well, we about to get to you now. Hold on. We're going to pull it back up. There it is right there. So I appreciate if y'all do know that, because coming up with these things, I'm developing this all myself. I had to learn this from scratch. That's why it took me so long to go live, because I said I want to make sure I put quality information. That's my Cash App. It's the $, uppercase H, uppercase T, in the H-Town Vet, Northside, uppercase H, uppercase T, the V is uppercase, and the N is uppercase. Now, let's see what Yandel is saying. Patient advocate for a new doctor. Go to your patient advocate. I forgot about that. I have been up there to the to the VA hospital. I go to the clinics most time. Patient. Okay. Somebody say sin. I don't know what that means. Man, y'all making me feel important, man. Look, man, y'all got to stop being so nice to me. I'm going to come up with all the secrets, man. I'm going to be out here talking about I know the secrets. I'm going to start throwing out big words that I don't even understand. But thank y'all, man, because it took a lot of getting stuff together, microphone, man, this stuff is the headphones, all this stuff. I want to make sure that I would bring you something that I wish I would have had when I was filing my claims, when I was denied over 4 times, and people were talking over my head, and I didn't know why. I didn't know what they were saying. And I say, well, I don't understand. Oh, it's easy. I couldn't stand when people would tell me, oh, it's easy. You just need to do it. What you mean it's easy? It's not easy for me. Now, Yandel, I do have a question that I want to ask you, Yandel. When it comes to the patient advocate, what other things can they help you with? Changing your doctor. Do you know anything else that the patient advocate can help you with? Or is that their main function that you know of? Let us know. My God. Well, we want to thank to our brother, and I think it was International. I want to put your real name out there. Our brother International done put us out here, and I hope you don't mind. I ain't gonna say it unless you all right. He gave us a nice little sum of money, and I appreciate you. That brother blessed us. Thank you too, brother. I'm gonna send a little everything to it. Thank you, brother. And this man gave plenty of money here, boy. But two chats, two Cash App. We thank you. We thank you. And we're gonna have to put it up there. But I gotta say something. Don't be mad at me, brother. This brother sent me $75. And I thank you. 50 and 25. Thank you. And this really helps, and I appreciate it. Now, hold on. This is what I appreciate, too. All right. Wow. Thank you. This brother's keep doing it. Don't break the bank, brother, but this brother sent me $100 already. When I feel like how to do the super chat, I'm gonna start doing. I didn't know that this. So somebody asked me about it. I didn't know how that worked. But we're gonna keep this authenticity going. But let's see what our sister's saying. VA mental health services, find out how to access VA mental health services for post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what I'm diagnosed with. That's what I'm diagnosed with. And we thank all of you, those that are able to financial help and those that ain't. Look what you're doing. We all helping. But whatever you're able to do, we don't turn down nothing but our collar. You understand? Thank you. Now, psychological effects of military sexual trauma, MST, depression, grief, and anxiety. Do they have special groups? Because I want to start going back to some of those special groups for post-traumatic stress disorder. And we want to thank tonight, really thank brother, I thank Brother International, if that's you. I want to thank you for your donations tonight. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Now, let's see. We want to thank you, Yandel. And look at boy, Yandel keep coming with it. Let's see what you say. And other needs. You can use some services even if you're not enrolled in VA healthcare. Did not know that. You telling me you can use some of these services even if you're not able to go? You might not qualify for the VA healthcare system. Wow. Or don't go. Did not know that. Now, yeah, I didn't know I was having this impact. Y'all making me feel good, man. When my daughter, she grown now, but she still stay at the house. She going to college, and she's staying at a friend's house tonight. When she get back, I'm gonna tell her, yeah, I people over here. They be telling me how important my channel is. I think she be watching me on the cool, so I better not say much because she be saying, "Dad, why you always bringing me up?" Now let's see what Dogface say. Now here we go. Dogface asking some more information about that clothing allowance. When is the deadline for the clothing allowance, brother? Again, so I can pace myself. Now tell him. Now let me ask you: if y'all telling the deadline for the clothing allowance, do they only have to sign up one time and they automatically get it every year, or you got to sign up every year? Because somebody told me that you only have to sign up that one time. Now, let's see what we're talking about here. Okay. Patient Advocate. The Patient Advocate program is for all veterans and their families who receive care at the VA care facilities, VA healthcare care facility. Let me tell you something. I didn't know it's for the family too. Well, not true, because I've taken my family in there with me before. Yeah, that is true. We want to be sure you have someone to go to with your concerns in a timely manner and to help you receive care. If you need help getting care or getting your problem solved, talk to a patient advocate at your VA medical center. Now, remember what y'all was saying, that what if my doctor is not doing right? Well, go to your patient advocate. Write that down. Remember, patient advocate. What if you're getting mistreated by some of the staff? You know, they talk bad to us sometimes. Not all the time. There's some good people there too. Go to your patient advocate. We want to provide you world-class veteran customer service, and this is just one important way in which to do that. Now, let me tell you something else that y'all might not know. Sit back and peep game on this one, okay? Sit back and peep game. They over there at the regional office, they got cards too. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the lady that initially helped me, she worked at the VA regional office. She's the reason I'm service connected for post-traumatic stress disorder. I had no idea what she was talking about. I went in there because, let me get back up on the screen. I went in there because my fingers got hurt in the war. My daughter always make fun. Dad, I don't see no scratch on feet. I did when we was in a combat thing. I almost got my fingers totally cut off. They cut halfway, but they healed, but they hurt sometimes. They ain't helped me with that, but she said, well, you got PTSD. I said, I come here about my fingers. I'm talking about what are you talking about PTSD? I got a job. And she helped me. Look what my brother say. Our sister gets, our brother say. He say, no problem. I appreciate the work you do. Y'all keep doing this here. Y'all just gonna make me want to do more. Because the reason, so I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna share something with your family. I used to help veterans in person, and I help people get their benefits. And a lot of them turned on me and was mad because I was helping other veterans. They just want to use me to get what they need. I appreciate y'all, how y'all helpful. They wasn't like this. I had some good veterans now. Don't get me wrong, but it was discouraging because they was like as soon as they got what they want, they stopped talking. And that really leaves a bad taste in your mouth. That's why I want to come somewhere where we could work together. That's why I'm talking about. This is something that happened, oh Lord, over 8-9 years ago. I was helping a lot of people. I was speaking to people. You understand? And it was groups of people I was talking to. And it discouraged me because they just was, they mistreat me, man. I got a brother got feelings. Hold on, man, y'all putting so much stuff in. I don't want to miss nothing. Now let's see what he say here. Okay, Yandel say, what services does the VA provide for PTSD? That's the question. So what's the answer? All right. Now, Yandel gonna get an answer. We have almost 200 PTSD treatment programs across the country that offer, one, mental health assessment and testing to figure out if you have PTSD, medication. Come on now. This is a way to get a nexus right here. They got programs that help. I didn't know 200 programs. See, I have certain knowledge and you have certain knowledge. We're going to keep bringing this thing together until we figure it out. Now, Mr. International said a powerful thing. One day you will talk about character discharge upgrade. You better believe, yes. Yes. I talked about it in several videos. I've touched on it. You watch our video, Veteran Court. Every state, almost every state, not every state, but many states have Veteran Court for veterans who get into criminal legal problems. And guess what? They do things to get you an upgrade in your status. And this is the best time to do it because the person working under the president, I forget that, the one over the VA, Secretary of VA or whatever, they did state, I don't know how much they backing it up, that people with bad discharge. Now let me explain something about, if you have, the main one to get is honorable discharge. The second one is general under honorable conditions. You can get most benefits with that at the federal level. But at the state level, you may need an honorable discharge when you're dealing with state benefits. Bad conduct discharges. Now follow me. We can talk about that right now. Huh? Bad conduct discharges. Discharges based on personality disorders. Dishonorable discharges. If you can show that your condition, your PTSD or other conditions caused you to be kicked out the military. So let's say they kicked you out for alcohol abuse. Well, you were probably self-medicating because you didn't know you had PTSD. Many Vietnam veterans, my cousin, who I love, my brother my cousin till he died, my hero, he self-medicated when he got back from Vietnam. He served in Vietnam, fought in Vietnam, and he got back, he was still in the military and got in that car wreck. And the guy that was driving, the other military guy, they were active duty military, he died. But my cousin lived, but they tested both of them and they had substances in their system. My cousin was dishonorably discharged and he was able to fight, and he got his benefits. So before my cousin died, was a few years ago, I was a veteran. You understand? You got to understand something. I'm a veteran. He remembered when I was born, and he was in Vietnam, and I was a veteran of the Desert Storm. And you know how proud he was of me? And how he was always cool with me? I ain't gonna never forget that, man. Y'all trying to get a brother to get teary. I ain't got time for all that, man. Huh? Y'all the reason black men cry in the dark. That's the reason they wrote that book, because of y'all, man. Now here we go. Proven to work treatment program, psychotherapy. Oh, PTSD psychotherapy, also called talk therapy. Talk therapy, when I got in a group, is this individual? Because I know psychotherapy is most likely an individual thing. But I'm gonna tell you what helped me when I was in this outpatient treatment thing, where we went there about 5 days a week. That helped me get my benefits too. And them veterans talking to them meant a lot to me. This includes proven methods like cognitive processing therapy. I had that. Family therapy, group therapy for special needs, like anger or stress management, or combat support group therapy for veterans who served in certain combat zones or who've been through similar traumas. Now that would be key. I don't mind being with any veterans, whatever their disability, service connected or not. We all family. Because I didn't want to go to war, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They lied to us till the day we start fighting. Oh, we're gonna go, we ain't gotta do nothing. Man, I didn't know the government lied to you. I was a naive young man. If I ever run into my recruiter, it's gonna be a misunderstanding. I'm telling you that right now. I met him. You know where I went into the military at? Right the same place that Muhammad Ali went here, right in Houston, the Houston MEP station. I was walking on the back side of the building, and I ain't had no money to get home. I had got laid off from my job. I was just out of high school, and the recruiter bust out the back door. He just walked out, and he said, "Hey, what you doing?" I said, "I ain't doing nothing." He said, "What you mean?" I say, "Man, I'm trying to get home, man." He say, "Oh, you got a job?" I said, "No, I got laid off." He said, "Well, you want to travel the world and see other people and do all that?" I said, "Yeah, I'd like to do that, but I ain't got no money." He said, "Well, you join the military, this, that." He didn't tell me the other people going to be shooting at me. You understand? If I see that man today, it's going to be a misunderstanding. Huh? Ain't going to be good between me and him. Huh? That's how I feel about it. Now, although the 2005 National Academy of Medicine report identified hazardous toxins in the soil and water, and VA acknowledges specific toxin exposure at Fort McClellan, VA does not concede. I needed to hear this because let me tell you something. My partner, he's a command sergeant major, E9 in the military, command sergeant major, retired, and he was at Fort McClellan, and he's suffering the effects of that, man. And I really needed to hear that, and I'm gonna pass that information on to him, okay, and get him to watch this video if you haven't already. To get an annual payment, now, let's see what's talking about the clothing allowance. You asked the question about the clothing allowance. Yandel and got to it. To gain an annual payment, or if you want to apply for additional clothing allowance, you'll need to qualify by August the 1st. So that's going to be next month. Huh? That's less than, you hear that? Less than how many days? Less than 30 days. August the 1st of that year, we collect applications throughout the year and hold them until, she's talking on behalf of the VA, and hold them until August the 1st, closing date. If you qualify, you'll need to receive your payments between September the 1st and October 31st. And look, she slow walked it. She gave you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. I don't know why y'all still there listening to me talk crazy. But this good information they putting in there. Let's see what else they say here. Yandel got it out here. let's see. I need to apply every year to get the annual payment. That's the question. That's the question I asked about. You receive a clothing allowance payment in 2022 or 2023. You no longer need to submit an application every year to continue to get it. So that ended back then. Annual payment. But if you want to receive an additional clothing allowance, you will need to submit an application. Now let's see what our brother James said. I ain't missed you, James. James Lyons say these taxes exposures for those who served. Okay, this requires veterans seeking VA disability claims for illness and diseases related to exposures to provide an individual toxic exposure. Okay, let's see what is brother Ed Fort McCullen. Okay, now let's see what our annual payments closing out need to be submitted application. Annual payment, but if you want to receive an additional clothing allowance, you need to submit an application. Okay. Man, I ain't realized so many people had commented down. I'm sorry. Okay, he said Fort McCullen. See our brother. I'm gonna start calling you AZ. You need people that will encourage you along the way. It's a continual journey for the young and the old. That's why we need y'all young people in here too. I don't know how you are, brother. We need the young and the old. We trying to get the younger veterans because they still got a little steam in them and they moving it home like we did when we got out. We sucked it up and dried on, some of us. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, man, that broke my heart. I was in the largest tank battles since World War II, you know. And I didn't realize because my people held up pretty good while we were over there. But when we got back, man, they started crumbling, man. They started, and I didn't understand what was happening because we didn't know how to express it. And I just started working myself to death, you know. And we didn't know what was going on, man. You know, so thank you. That's why we here. All right. I meant to say toxic. Okay, instead of tax. Okay. My mistake, no problem. I figured that out kind of down the way. Now let's see what Yin Dare say. Request a discharge upgrade for correction. You can apply for a discharge upgrade by mail or with the help of a veteran service officer. Now, this is what you need to do, especially people that just got out of the military. I want you to hear this. What you need to do most of the time is stay out of trouble within the first 2 years of getting out. Get some character witnesses and get some information showing that, you know, what it is. And also talk to the VSO, the Veteran Service Officers, also to help you. Organizations like the American Legion, like the Veteran of Foreign Wars, especially if you experience some type of maybe MS T trauma. You understand? MS trauma. You need to let them know that the reason that I became addicted to things because something happened to me. I was traumatized, violated. If you was in combat, I was drinking that liquor, using those drugs. Yes, they kicked me out of the military because of drug use, but I was using it to cope with a problem that I did not know I had. Here's the key word: self-medicating. The reason like one of my brothers when we got back, I hate to say it, I was kind of talking about it a little earlier. When he was in Germany, they didn't kick him out, thank God. But he was up on that, you know, he was in them German barracks. He was standing up on the second floor. I didn't know because I was gone when I got back. They had him strapped down, man, on the gurney, taking him away to the hospital, right? And I said, he looking at me, he said, you know, I'm just say H-Town vet. He said, you gonna let them do this to me? You know, he's my brother. I didn't know what to do. They had him strapped down on the gurney, but they say he had beat up the sergeant and the officer that was on duty that night. But they trying to get him off that ledge, man. And he whooped both of them up. And I saw him, when we went to Colorado, we stationed over there. And I was happy to see him, but he wasn't the same, man. He used to, we was in the same tank together, man. And several other ones. So that's why I appreciate y'all. Here's the resource that you need to correct your discharge. Here you go right here. Yandell giving it to you. Here's the information you need to request a discharge upgrade or correction if it's something on your discharge paper. So like with me, they have certain awards and medals that I have on my DD-214 that I don't have the paper copy of. I got some of the paper copy of that I don't have on my DD-214. It's kind of weird. So please look at this upgrade. If you're watching the video, stop here and make sure you write down this where to correct at va.gov, and you can fight and get with a service organization that can help you upgrade, because you can't get many VA compensation benefits with a bad conduct discharge or a dishonorable discharge. We're going to fight for you to get an upgrade, okay? By using this information. He laughing again. He crying. Here we go. What are the requirements for the clothing allowance again? Certain percentage. It's right above. She just said it, my brother. My cousin tried to apply for the PAC Act, but he's a peacetime veteran. I don't know. I don't know if you can win with the PAC Act there. I don't know. Okay, here's Yandell saying, I am eligible for this benefit from the VA. You may be eligible for a clothing allowance if you meet the requirements listed here. One of them must be true. Your prosthetic or orthopedic device damaged, or it's using a cream. I know she's going to say she ain't put the rest of it out yet, I don't think. Oh, yes, she did. I just had to scroll down. I didn't realize y'all have so much information on here. Or your clothes or skin medicine causes damage to your outer clothing, like your pants or shirt, that can't be repaired. And this must be true. You need this device or skin medicine because of an injury or illness related to your military service, which is called service connection, of course. So if your service connected disability, like let's say you got a rash that's service connected and you put a cream on your neck, but that cream damaged the outside of your shirt, this is what she's talking about. You got a brace on your leg, but it tears up your pants. They got to give you that clothing allowance. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all doing it tonight. Y'all just be keeping me here. We will finish at 2 hours and something. It's 3 hours and something. What we going to do with y'all, man? What we going to do with y'all? Now, I want to ask you one last question. If we can go and do this here. I keep saying one more again, as they used to say. What topics do y'all want to cover going forward? Yes, is there a way I can upgrade my DD-14 for my current rank as a sergeant? My DD-214 says specialist, but I continue in the reserves afterward. Now, I don't know, whatever it was on your DD-214, on active duty, that's going to be one thing. You can check and see, but what you need to do is what Yandell said. Let me see. She having somebody right here. See what she said? Upgrade, discharge, or correction. That's what you see what's on the screen right now. That's what you need to be working on right there. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, let's see. That's what he said. So she answers that question. And you can go back and look at the video. I think you can look at the chat at the same time. So thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate y'all for being here. We value you for who you are. Any other statements? Y'all have any topics that y'all would like to cover? We talk about discharge upgrade. We're gonna do something on that. Anything else? Because we gonna since you're doing that, I'm make sure we get that out there too. We're gonna do one on fiduciary, somebody being over your money if you declared incompetent. This don't have to be just because, it could be because you incapacitated and everything. So we're gonna conclude this live stream, and we want to thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. Any final shout outs? We appreciate you and thank you. And we will see you, most likely it's going to be on what's the date? Well, day is Thursday. We're going to see you on Sunday broadcast, okay? We're going to try to have a Sunday broadcast. Do our best. We're going to be around the same time between 6 and 7 o'clock. We want you to join us. So thank you, Dogface Soldier. That's a heck of a name. Thank you, Yandel, for everything that you do. You pull this broadcast along. All of you participate. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, AZ. Thank you, James Lyons. That's a street over in Fifth Ward neighborhood I grew up in. Lion Street. Also, thank you for Mr. International. Yes, you came up. You came up today. We thank you. We're gonna do that on upgrade. Thank you for the donations, also, my brother. We had some new people in it too. Our brother Obi, our Nigerian brother, I think he is. He was here. Also, man, y'all did some real. This chat is off the chain. Y'all bringing knowledge. Can't nobody come over here trolling, because look how y'all handling it. Yeah, there go our brother Obi. All right, our brother Obi. Say it wrong, forgive me, brother, my Nigerian brother. I think some of my ancestry, of course, goes back to Nigeria probably too. And my people are Aboriginal too. When I say Aboriginal, not just red native. My granddaddy was on a reservation until he was in like 12 or 13. And there were black natives too. We was clicked out of the tribes. Now, here we go. Let's see who we got here. Shout out to my brother, his wife, Veronica, Military Mike, and his wife, Veronica. I ain't never had nobody have me shout out their wife, but peace. Brother Angel, if you still here, shout out to you. Brother John, for everybody that joined us. And I can't believe y'all still keep coming back here. Y'all still hanging around here. But we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep encouraging each other. This is a place where we're going to come to not just give knowledge, but support, direction. Because once we get these benefits, we don't want to sit around depressed, sitting around not being active. We want to do things that find out about things that's going on, things in your areas, parks that you can go to. My daughter them have me going everywhere now. I was sitting in the garage looking outside. They got me active. So this is going to conclude this live stream. We want to thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you on, most likely, like to see you on Sunday broadcast. We're going to try to do it on Sundays and Thursdays. So thank you for joining us on this live stream. And good night.